Hello and welcome to yet another Q&A Thursday right here at the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel. Welcome one, welcome all, guys, gals, everybody in between. You are welcome here to ask your detailing questions and anything else car-related, cleaning kind of stuff. That's what we're here for. So anyway, before I go too far, I will introduce Dane Hennett. Hello, I'm your host. And to my right, Levi Gates.
Hello, Dane.
Yes, and to my left, Anthony Fisher.
Hey, Dane, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
I think we're all glad to be here. We're glad to have you here watching, listening, wherever you are. And let us know by saying hi down in the comments below and throwing in some detailing stuff while you got it. But before we go too far beyond the introductions, housekeeping. What's going on around TRC these days?
Well, Dane, thanks for asking. It is we're in the second week of December, technically? First week. We're still technically
it's
the
fine,
first
but
week,
still the first week of December. So we kind of covered this a little bit on the main show, but we are going to be having some winter festivity, saily style things happening here within the next week or so, which I think people are going to be pretty excited about. So make sure you're signed up for the Rag Company newsletter so you're up to date on all of the fun sale info, discounts, and everything like that. TheRagCompany.com, Dane. Simply go to ragcompany.com. You'll usually get prompted to sign up for the newsletter, or just scroll down to the very bottom of the page. There's a little spot where you can enter your email. It says sign up. Bam. You're going to get a 15% sign-up coupon if you've never done that before, right? Which is pretty amazing. And then you'll be up to date on all the rest of the sales that come out following that.
Just make sure that you check your spam folder. Make sure you check your clutter folder. Make sure you check all those things. So that way you know that you got your email because you get that coupon.
And
make sure you don't make it spam. That way you got it.
I was going to say, that's important. Most importantly, we don't waste your time. We only send emails when it's actually something relevant that you will be interested in. So please take it from us. It's worth signing up for. You won't regret it. And that's that.
So we have that going on. And then here, actually, so I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. I think I can say it. So we're getting our, I'm just going to throw it out there.
I'm just going to say it?
No, he's just going to
I don't care. Whatever happens.
Oh, he's going to do it live.
So the Rip and Rags will be here tomorrow on the premises, right?
Okay, but we don't know if
they're going to be on the property.
But they will be on the property.
Yeah,
right?
they're not going to turn the switch yet.
The switch for them going live at this point in time is set to Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
As far as what I know at this point in time, the Rip and Rags will be available on Monday. Here's the thing. There's some good and bad with this.
Well, here's the first thing so people understand the logistics as to why aren't we getting them out there. That truck may show up tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. It may show up at 10 a.m. They have to unload a 40-foot container and inventory it first. That's the very first thing that we have to do is make sure we got the right amount that we paid for, right? So that is what's going to take up the majority of the time, and that is why we want to wait till Monday. Now, Anthony, second part of that.
So the second part of that is that, it should have been, it's understood, but basically at this point in time, more than, I think, 60% of our Rip and Rag stock that is coming in is going out the door on Monday.
To distributors.
So we are trying to, right now, we're trying to crunch the numbers and things like that and figure out, okay, if this many are going to distributors, how many are we actually going to have for us on the retail site? Which we're going to have some, but at this point in time, it seems like they're going to go
to the distributors first.
Fast in general, though.
Extremely
in general.
So they're going to be available on our website, hopefully on Monday. Distributors will start to receive them here within the following weeks or so. And then it's more or less just, we're going to be waiting on that next order as well, and then hopefully being able to stay stocked up. But because keep in mind, guys, these are coming out, again, the gate. You're going to get your 80 count box of Rip and Rags, right? 70-30 blend.
Really nice towel.
180 GSM. That's an undersold 180. They're probably more close.
Feels more like 240.
It's more like
it feels like
it feels like a 240.
It's like a 220. I think it's like a solid 220.
Pretty close.
As I said, the low 200s. But is what it feels like.
They're so amazing. Like in the shop, in the garage, in the house.
They'll sell themselves. We don't need to say anything more about
I have some of our
They're
first,
also the only 70-30 blend
only
tearaway
70-30
microfiber.
tearaway microfiber towels. I have had the prototypes in my house for I don't know how many months now. I've been using them for cleaning everything inside my kitchen. I rip and rag all the time. Love those things.
Yeah.
I use them for my glasses, use them for my cameras. They're amazing. 80 count box is $30, right?
Yeah.
So it's such a stinking good deal that I think that people are going to pick up multiple boxes, and then the 30 count rolls are going to come in at $14.99. So basically what I had to do is I had to talk to the guys and say, hey, I need 6 of these boxes because they're going to our Grand Ambassador finalists in our showdown currently right now. They need to get these because I've been promising them for a month.
Yeah, they laughed at you.
They laughed, yeah. Because they're like, we don't even have 6. Like, give me the 6. I will take the 6. I'll buy the 6. So, anyways, basically, Rip and Rags are going to be available, and then there's going to be the restock of the Ultra Air products.
Yeah,
which
all the
people have
Ultra Air tools.
Been wanting to know when's the restock happening, when's the blaster coming back in stock, when's the blaster, because the blaster plus was sold out. The engine blaster we still have, and then the Ultra Spray applicator will also be replenished as well. So we're going to have a restock of the Ultra Air tools just in time for Christmas, so people will be able to order for those. And then there's going to be a couple new products showing up as well that we will be covering here in the upcoming week within the Ultra line as well, which I think people are gonna love.
Really like.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
They may have actually even seen a sneak peek of it on our Instagram.
Maybe there's a glass coating where
you might have to go
these
back and
products
watch.
on. I don't know.
Yeah.
But new products, Christmas stuff, and then next week we're also doing. Actually, I don't know if you know this, but Monday.
I'm not going to be here.
You're not going to be here. I volunteered you to be Santa for this shoot that we're doing because
it's funny.
Because it's not as funny with me doing it.
I heard you talking about. You were like asking, is the Santa costume washed?
Yeah.
Is it in a place that's accessible?
Yeah.
Could a person wear it comfortably throughout the day? And I laughed to myself because I knew what you were doing.
Yes.
But I also was like, it'll be great because I'm not going to be here.
Yeah, you're not going to be here. So I have to wear a Santa costume now. And it's not as fun or funny with me in a Santa costume because it's just Anthony in a Santa costume. But if it's Levi, it's like, it's Levi, it's Santa.
Old Man Winter, all right.
It's fun, right? Dane would be fun. But
Agreed.
I know what you're saying. Thanks.
No,
I'm just saying we'd be good Santas. That's
I'm just
all.
saying you guys make great Santas.
We're jolly guys.
It's definitely because we both have beards. That's why.
He's got a beard. It's not as exciting.
His
but
is scruff.
I'm gonna do what I can to spread that holiday cheer right on Monday for some more Christmassy media content that we're gonna be shooting. So. I think that pretty much wraps up for housekeeping. And then I think we're also going to be doing a live video here in the next week or two as our Q&A replacement, which I think is going to be, I think it's next week?
Just for a day. Just one day. But it's not like we're replacing the Q&A forever.
It is next week, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to do a live Q&A, but we're going to do a rinseless wash during this Q&A, and we're going to have some guests join us. It's going to be a magical time, and there is going to be candles lit.
They talked about doing it on the main channel rather than the podcast channel, and I wasn't too sure about that. I thought maybe keep it on the podcast channel to avoid confusion.
It's up in the air.
But we'll see.
We have
options. Go either
options.
way. Just make sure you're subscribed to both.
The world is our oyster. We can do as we wish.
So for those wondering again, I've got, if you didn't catch the Q&A or the podcast on Tuesday, I was out of the studio with COVID. That's why I'm wearing a mask. So I apologize if you guys can't hear me as well. But
speak up, Levi.
That's why I'm wearing a mask and taking the family to Disneyland next week. So that is why
just trying to handle all the income.
Trying to just keep it here, right? That's what we're doing. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there in case we got any comments as to why was Levi wearing a mask. So
that's fair.
That's why I want to keep everybody healthy, including myself, so that I can go lick some light posts at Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
As one does.
And churros.
All right, let's get started on this.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful Friday Eve, in which we are here ready to go with Q&A Thursday. All right,
First
Dino.
up.
Saying hello, what's up, my favorite people? What's up, Dino? How are you,
Back
man?
at you, Dino.
Super Auto 2K saying a happy Friday Eve. What's up, buddy? How are you? And then Umberto with a hello,
Classic.
TRC team. Super Auto with a wave, and then it would not be Q&A Thursday without Dan Pfeiffer with a good afternoon and a word up from sunny and seasonally warm Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday Eve, TRC gang. How's everyone today? We are doing good, Dan.
Fine and
Thank
dandy.
you, brother. And then the Birch. Simon Birch is in the house. Saying Thursday already, oh boy. Anthony.
We've got a 3M Auto Spa LLC says, hello and good afternoon, my fellow detailing family from Richmond, California. It's a rainy day.
And then he doesn't follow up after we,
All
so I
right.
don't know what he says, but
that's all
we'll
right.
catch up after this.
Then we have Grand Ambassador of the Year, Alex
look at
Stewart
that.
in the house,
very
a
nice.
Canadian friend and a co-host of Jamie the Cleaner in their podcast. So we have Happy Friday Eve TRC. Hope everyone is doing well. Exciting. Bro C. Belinsky and Jamie hitting up PNS this week.
I think
Yeah.
he meant 2 instead of bro. But hey,
Yeah.
2 and bro. 2 and
Yeah.
bro. Okay.
It seemed like Jamie got the royal treatment there. at
He
PNS.
did.
I think
It
I
was
saw
weird.
there was
Really
like photos
did.
of him getting massages.
Yeah,
and
I thought that was
like the
strange.
facial. I'm like, when we went to Hayward, they literally just said, "Hey, can you guys just run around, grab some photos and videos?" And
like
you
I
know,
thought it was
sell
strange.
stuff.
First, I saw that they had a red carpet.
Yeah.
They had media there, like paparazzi.
paparazzi.
And Jamie,
Oh, flash
Jamie
bulbs
was
going
Jamie
on.
was getting out in a limousine.
and he was wearing gator skin boots.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was wild.
Then
I must have missed
I saw
that.
him walk in, and as he was walking in, he was just kind of did one of these to the cameras.
Yeah.
He didn't
Yeah,
didn't stop and pose. He just kind of hit his head as he
Half-covered
as he
face.
walked in.
Like George Clooney did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Walked right into the building and then into Bob's office, where he proceeded to take his coat off and sit down at Bob's desk.
Whoa.
That was crazy.
And I was
Whoa.
like,
And he kicked up his feet, his gator skin boots up
Like he
onto
belongs
Yeah.
Bob's desk. And I go, you can't
yeah.
do that.
And then it was even weirder was just to see that like Keith came around and started massaging Jamie's shoulders.
yeah.
Huh.
And they're like, it's so nice to have you back here, Mr.
Great
Cleaner.
welcome,
Like,
welcome, Mr. Cleaner.
thank you.
His
thank
last
you for
name is
everything you've
Cleaner.
done. I
Yeah.
mean, he's been cleaning house, dude.
Yeah,
at
literally.
Hayward.
Amazing. And then they said the training's over here. Would you like something? And he goes, yeah, I'd like you to go down to down to Baja Fresh, get me something
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Something
to
good.
eat, you know. And so I thought that was kind of crazy, but
Huh.
good for you, Jamie. I'm glad you got a great experience.
The Harry
Yes.
Housewife says, hello, you beautiful lot. Right
Darren,
back
what's
at you,
going
Darren.
on, man?
What's up,
See you
Darren?
in here.
Current Grand Ambassador
Yes.
finalist. And then
He's in
Birch
it.
saying, Happy Friday Eve. Birch is here.
The Birch is here.
And then Brian, hey guys, what vacuums do you use? Ever use cordless options?
I mean, I do at home.
You do?
Yeah.
That's how you vacuum out your car?
Well, I have a stick vacuum. It's very handy. It
In
can
your
turn
car?
into a handheld vacuum
Oh,
that I can
very
then
nice.
use in my car. Yeah.
That's how you get all the dog hair.
I mean, that's not going to get the dog hair.
Well,
It doesn't do that. A shop
It
vac
needs a
has to
shop
take care of the dog,
vac.
dog
Okay.
hair. But no, I have a actual stick vacuum that turns into like a little shark, you know,
Yeah.
the little
Yeah,
handheld
that's nice.
dustbusters type one. It works,
Yeah.
just not for dog hair.
So I have the Husky 6-gallon vacuum, or rigid. It's an orange. It's a rigid 6-gallon
That's
vacuum.
rigid.
It's got a great warranty on it. I've replaced it probably 3 times. Whenever I have an issue, I find it lasts about a year, but it's only $40 or $50 at Home Depot.
always has a crazy good deal.
They're
on those
always on
things.
sale, and I think I think it's the perfect size, and they've got a great warranty. So that's what I use because it's cheap, it's simple, it's effective, and it's got great suction. What do you got,
Black
Anthony?
Friday and Father's
I'm
Day is
running
where you
that
can find
rigid, I think 4-gallon is what it is, or
Okay.
is
Yeah.
it?
It might
I think
be
it's
the
a- or
6.
4.5 gallon. I think it's a 4.5.
Smaller
gallon.
than mine?
It's not. It's not
I have a
overly
6
big,
gallon.
but
I
I
have a
mean,
0.5 at
Yeah, I
home.
have a
it's
6.
pretty. I mean, it's pretty. I don't. Maybe it is 6. I don't know.
think
It's
it's the
I mean,
6.
thing's pretty hefty, but it's maybe it's a 4.5 horsepower. 4. I don't
Maybe,
know. I don't
but
know what the
I
heck
think
it
you
is.
have the same one I have.
But it's
I
a
think so.
it's a good vacuum. I've had no issues with it. I do have the upgraded orange hose on mine.
Yeah.
Do you have the upgraded orange
No.
hose? Okay, so I'm running the upgraded orange hose on mine with the detailing kit, right, which includes their crevice tool and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I threw all that away. I only use one crevice tool
Okay,
and for real.
gotcha. Well, I like that vacuum. I think that the orange hose is too rigid and like hasn't broken in. Like
It's
no,
too
straight up,
rigid.
dude. Like I've had that hose for years now, and it's like I'm always terrified of that thing.
Yeah.
Whether it's gonna whip the car or whether I'm dragging it across the door seals. I wish that
They
Yeah.
make an alternate kit so you can swap out the hose for a different hose that's like a little bit
And that's what I did. It was the orange
that's what he
hose.
did.
Yeah,
He switched to
I
the
switched
orange
the
from
switched
the
the
black.
orange from the black hose. And,
right.
And the orange is just it's a nice hose. It's just
I'm still
I wish it
running
had
the
more
stock hose.
Okay.
flop to it or something.
Yeah, the
But,
OEM hose.
Cordless. No, I've never really used any cordless.
We have the
vacs.
Flex. We have the small Flex handheld cordless vacuum.
Is it? No, it's a.
It's like a
blower.
back. We've got the little backpack vacuum.
Oh yeah.
And I used it last week
It does an okay
or 2 weeks ago. I
job,
used it to touch up some spots that when I drove a car over here to touch up the carpets.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's good for what it needs to be. It's a great little handheld vac. It uses the new Flex Power Tools 24-volt batteries. It's fairly lightweight. I mean, it's backpack size, so you can like set it on your shoulder and utilize it.
It's like a leaf blower, but in reverse.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of you wear it on your
provides-
back and it's the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but all in all, it's been a good little vacuum. But yeah,
All right.
that's all.
There we go. Detailing and Review says, good evening, everyone.
What's
right
up?
back at you. Followed up by Harry Housewife saying, I have just finished washing the car in the dark. Thank the good Lord Dane and his 2 disciples and Skin Grip for the iMatch 3. That thing could light up a football pitch.
Yeah,
it-
man.
It's the best. I wear mine when I have an iMatch too, but I'll wear that when I'm washing.
So the iMatch 3, I've been using it now for
Yeah.
a couple weeks, right? Or no, over a couple months now. It's taken me some getting used to. The iMatch 2, very simple, straightforward.
Yeah.
Right? You literally, bam.
You got
well, yeah,
two
you have
levels
two
of
levels
cold,
light
2
setting,
levels of warm.
2 levels of cold, 2 levels of warm. Easy to turn on. Put on the hand switch, turn off, right? Easy, right? The iMatch 3 is like literally like, it's like, there's like 50 functions, right?
There's a lot
You
going
hold
on.
it, and now you has the dimming. So now it dims up to a certain point, and you let go, and you want it to stop dimming, right? And then on top of the dimming, you have multiple temperatures. You have cool, kind of cool, neutral, warm, cool, warm, and like full warm. I don't.
I love your
that's a
settings.
lot.
I love
It's-
those
it's-
settings.
yes.
I can't remember how many it is.
Cold, kind of
But,
cold,
like,
somewhat
I
cold.
always
Less cold.
forget.
Less cold.
I always forget which button side I'm pressing.
Yeah.
And so it'll either strobe at me, like in flash, because I've reached the max output or
Yeah.
whatever I need to do, or it'll shut off, and I go, man, like it's a really nice headlamp.
Yeah.
But it is thicker than that of the iMatch 2, and it's just a little bit more complicated. I mean, I think the thing. The iMatch 4 is going to have like Bluetooth capabilities with like recording
It's going to have like a
modes
speaker
and-
built in with a little camera lens
I mean,
on
they're
it.
making them really cool, but I think there's a certain point where I'm like, I just want the light, just turn on and turn off, right?
So buy the old one.
There you go. I
All
love
right.
it. All right. Well, Joey
Oh,
Valinsky.
Yes, a
real-
reacher-sized gentleman.
saying hello, my favorite people. What's up, buddy? How are you?
All right. Bam.
And further detail saying, can or should diamond wheels be applied in 2 coats? If recoating wheels that were previously coated in diamond wheels, is a light polish required? No, not necessarily. It just depends on how much contamination is on those wheels. I would clean them. I would probably run some light, hit them with like a light clay towel, just to make sure you got all the brake dust off, anything that's maybe gotten embedded on the previous coating. Treat it similar to the type that you would like with paint. If you need to polish, you can, but again, do not polish a matte finished wheel or satin finished wheel. But no, you should be able to coat right over the top after you've used diamond body prep on it. So
I feel like I see that question come up anytime matte stuff is concerned. People are afraid of putting some type of coating or something over it because they think it's going to change the look of it too much.
yeah,
But really, when it comes down to it, it's the polishing and things like that that are going to affect it the most.
Yep. exactly.
All right. Next up, Aaron Bauer. Hey guys, I have the new IK360 degree and I wanted to fill with O&R wash and wax, the green stuff. Will the wax mess up the sprayer?
Not if it's diluted at 256 to 1 or 128 to 1, depending
Yeah.
on what you're doing with it.
It should be at the
Yeah, just
typical
make sure it's
rinseless
properly
dilution
diluted.
you're using
Yeah.
it for, and then you should be fine. And if you're really concerned, you can always rinse it out when you're done. I mean,
Yep.
it's not a huge concern there. All right, then I got Rick Smith saying hello, TRC
What's up,
crew.
man?
And Levi.
Bruce Performance saying, will the twist and shout make a return or gone forever.
Gone forever, as far as I know.
As far as we know,
unless there is like
was
some like
a sellout.
a crowd of people that are gathered in front of TRC with pitchforks and knives and torches. I genuinely think that the Twist and Shout may have
gone the way of the dodo.
Our drying towels are
Breathed
always
his
in
last
a
breath.
state of evolution, so things will, come and go. But the Twist and Shout has kind of been on the chopping block for a long time, just because the sales kind of dwindled on it.
Well,
People
once
were
the
interested in
liquidator,
other
once the
types of
liquidator
towels.
came out, and
Well, that's my point. The
superseded
interest
it.
shifted elsewhere, so people decided they liked other ones more
yep.
because things advance over time. So yeah, if you loved them, sorry, but there's definitely a lot of good options for you. And we're always looking at what's newer on the horizon.
Frost saying, you guys never said how you all got out of that haunted box.
It's called a plot hole. That's what we slipped out through.
Yeah.
We still don't know how.
Man,
Still don't know
like,
what's going on with that.
We need to follow up with that, guys. It's how do I say this?
Just tell them.
Okay. we have a plan for this, for where the video will go next. The problem is that coming out of the Halloween sale and then getting into SEMA, then Black Friday, it got crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It got crazy.
And then sicknesses.
And everybody started getting sick. I got whatever the heck I got right now.
So
Yep.
these events
Asthma,
do
probably.
not happen in a vacuum. What you see is the end result of many, many days, weeks, many, many hours worth of work to prep, to actually do the shoot. And when people aren't available, you can't shoot the stuff you need. I mean, I know like in big movies and stuff, they had the budget to do like pickup shots and things like that. It's like, but for us, it's
But no,
just
not even-
the
but
time
even
that
that.
you have
But
in between your regular day jobs. You
Yeah,
also
Yeah,
have to do.
but
was
even
the- it
that,
was the
shooting
tough part.
videos, shows, movies, there are a number of days scheduled out for all that.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if we had planned to shoot, let's say, all three of them in a vacuum, meaning
But
the
someone
4th
was
of July,
always sick. Or,
but I mean, let's
Yeah.
say let's say take 2024,
yeah.
and we plan 4th of July, a Halloween, and a Christmas video all at the same time. We are now set to where we need to figure all that out. And one thing we thought was, gosh, we're going to need snow for the Christmas one.
Yeah.
So we better hold off on that, just like anybody would. Problem is,
So
We
it
got
still
one
hasn't
day of
snowed.
snow,
Still
and
hasn't
then it went
really
away. It all
snowed.
melted.
So, and all of us were sick. So
Yeah.
it kind of
So
hurts.
The,
So
the
bear with us.
timeline for the video got a little pushed back, but there will be some resolution there at some point in time.
I also kind
Mm-hmm.
of danced around it by explaining we never promised it would be Christmas. I just showed that there would be snow. There's
Well, there
just some
was sleigh
snowflakes.
bells
And
days.
sleigh bells happen all through the winter.
We
You
don't
can't
know
just
that.
say it's Christmas. So what I'm saying is there's still hope.
There you
Okay.
go.
Simon Birch
Yeah.
says, had no idea the Twist and Shout was bye. I know.
Just whatever towels are popular, those ones stick around until they become less popular and the new thing becomes
Mm-hmm.
popular, and we follow how that goes. So if one's just kind of straggling, then you got to move on.
The details of me saying, hey, everyone, happy
Hey,
Thursday. What's going on? Simon Birch saying, will they be available in the EU soon? I'm assuming the new products like we talked about.
So
Probably ribbon
Yes.
rags in
they
particular.
would be getting there soon,
Yep.
hopefully.
And then Joey Belinsky says, Rip and Rags will show up on eBay by Friday for a 5X markup.
Oh
Nice.
gosh, I hope not.
You never know. Spencer B.
It's on Stock X.
Yeah. Question for Anthony. Would you rather never be able to use a tongue scraper again for the rest of your life, or convert all the clothing hangers in your house to the felt cloth style ones permanently?
God, you monster.
Would you rather?
You monster. No, I couldn't live without a tongue scraper. I couldn't do it.
There
If
you
you took
go.
that tongue scraper away from me, I don't know what I would do. That's like
Well,
literally.
you'd find
That's
something
how
to scrape
important
your
it is.
tongue with.
I would
That's what you
find
would do.
something to scrape my tongue with, but God, whether I'm gagging
in there
or
with
whatever.
Just pulling branches off trees, like maybe
what
this
am-
bark
yeah,
will
what-
do it.
Yeah, what am I gonna do? Get a credit card?
Yeah.
No, I would deal with the felt hangers, unfortunately, over the
Wow.
freaking tongue scrapers. Yeah, but the felt hangers.
Now we know.
So bad, dude. I went to go rip this shirt off a felt hanger today, right? Watch as my neck hole got all,
Yeah, it's not.
stretched open.
You want to come over to
I'm
my
like-
house? I got plastic hangers.
I love
smooth plastic
Smooth.
hangers.
Comes right off, right? The felt
Slide
hangers
in,
all
slide out.
grippy and all this stuff.
So So I want to ask, as far as the felt thing goes, just real quickly, is this more of it's annoying because it sticks and I just want it to come off, or is this more of like a possibly neurodivergent, I don't like the way it feels texture thing?
No,
or what,
has
what
nothing to
is
do with
it?
the way it feels. I don't care about the way it feels. It's literally the fact
holds
that I
onto
go,
his shirts.
hey, holds onto my shirts far too well. It makes it inconvenient for me to take them off, right?
Okay.
And when I do go to take them off, I am damaging my fabric. I'm damaging
How
my...
much damage is that doing, really?
Well, he's stretching them.
Dane, I'm stretching those holes out further than any hole I've ever stretched. I mean, basically, think,
Wow.
hey,
Think
my
about
my head going into a hole, right?
Yeah.
It's just my head. This hanger is this wide,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
2X.
I'm trying
2X
to get
stretch.
out
The
of
point
this.
is you kind of go at an angle, though, but I get it. I'm just saying, what you're saying is it does its job that it's designed for purposefully. It does it too well.
It does it way too
Yeah.
well, and it's freaking annoying.
It's
and
just
then,
too good.
Then people say, well, why don't you just drop it through the bottom? Okay, the felt is so grippy.
It holds
that
on inside
it
to the
literally,
shirt.
it's like going through what's it called? Like
Jacob's ladder.
Like a Jacob's ladder. It's like it hits every single corner as I'm sitting there shaking the
Yeah.
freaking hanger out.
So this is
and-
like the annoying guy at a job interview when you ask what his weakness is, and he says, "I care too much."
Yeah, it's just
it's the-
felt
the
hangers
equivalent of that in
don't
hanger
need to be
form.
made. It's,
Okay.
it's ridiculous
Yeah.
that they're making them that grippy. It's like
Got
it's there was never. I can understand the wood hangers that were too short, right, and everything just falls right off. I get that. Throw those out, right? Plastic hangers are perfect. It's almost a perfect system.
they've been
on
working
a
great
plastic
for the
hanger.
last 20,
I've
30
never
years,
had an
40
issue.
years.
Some people don't like the way they clink or maybe they look in a closet, but it's a hanger.
How many people are looking in your closet?
Nobody's looking in my closet.
Literally,
but you know what? I
nobody
have a
besides
full
him.
row.
How about I
of
come over to your
black felt
house?
hangers in my
What if I
closet.
come over to your house and I look in your closet and I start judging you based on your hangers?
Yeah, you say, hey, your hangers are.
Why are you not running plastic hangers? These are garbage hangers.
These are horrible hangers.
Would that
So-
help?
On that note, Michael Kaufman here, planning on picking up a box when available, thinking would be great for spot cleaning bugs off the front end of Bronco when I'm out
Absolutely.
and about.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely, dude. I think
Easy on the
honestly,
car.
the rip and rag, you buy the 30 count roll and just keep it in your car.
Yep.
Yeah, just keep
Like
it in
literally,
the trunk or
I don't know if
something.
it would fit in every glove box. It might fit in a few glove boxes, but
Some
throw it in your
bigger
trunk.
ones.
Throw it in your your lining in the back of your if you have an area in your
big
in your
door
car.
pocket maybe. Just,
And dude, you never know when you might
Yeah.
just need
Especially
one.
with kids.
And it's great because at the end of the day, it's something that you can use, abuse, reuse. If you want to, you can throw it away if you want to. But it's just going to be that perfect, in a pinch towel for so many different things. And it's still a 70-30 blend.
Yep. Awesome.
you will find reasons for it. All right. Details and me saying I'm waiting for the restock. You and many, many folks. So, yes, a lot of people are waiting for those to come in. Then
In
we've
Focus saying, are those 360 IK sprayers heads going to be released
The
soon?
head's not yet.
Not yet.
got- Okay. And then a whole bunch of hellos. Let me make sure I got the right page, though, before we commit to that. Yes. Page 3.
Grand Ambassador of the Year, Mountain Town Detail saying, I will come wear that Santa
Please
Claus
do.
costume.
Yeah. That'd
Please
be
do.
great.
You're a great Santa.
You wore it well at
Come on
SEMA,
over, brother.
so everybody was a fan.
Aaron saying, when will you be stocking up on that new Detail Factory XL tire brush? I made a video with it yesterday.
Huh?
Are we out of it? No, we're not out of
We're
it.
not out of it, I don't think. I think it's ready. We just
Is it
It's-
not on the website yet?
probably just getting put on this week.
Okay.
So that's you're
Aaron,
seeing something before it.
We literally, I used it yesterday on Anthony's truck
for
Oh,
B-roll, yeah.
for B-roll for a video for Amazon. So
Soon.
there you go. Soon.
So it's not like it went out of stock. It's just
No.
not live.
No,
yet.
it's
live.
not live. Hunter Redmond saying, I have a coated car and no hydrophobic properties in the lower areas of the vehicle. I have tried washing multiple times and no luck. What's the next step? Or
probably-
polish and recoat.
Chemical decon, maybe start there. I'd probably use either like a nice
Either
you
something like
a nice-
forced.
something like a citrus based cleaner, or you can use a fault remover,
Or a water spot remover.
water spot remover, and I'd probably hit those lower areas and see if any of the hydrophobic properties come back. If not, you may have lost the hydrophobic effects, or maybe they've been dwindled, and you might just need to top it with a topper or replenish the coating.
Yep.
There we go.
Super Auto saying, get over here.
He just wanted you to
Yeah,
say
he
that.
wanted me to say that. What's up, buddy? And then Belinsky, hope you and the fam have the best time in the mouse house. Thanks, Joey. Appreciate
yeah.
it. Quite excited. Very excited.
Are you?
Yeah.
What's the first thing you're gonna do?
I don't remember.
Like,
I don't
so
know.
are the kids gonna go on all the rides?
So that's the game plan. Is we're gonna go. I've been told I have to go on all the rides.
You going on Pirates?
I am going on Pirates. I love
Anything
Pirates.
deemed too scary for the kids, or are they
No,
cool
my
with
kids
all of
are like they are the children of my wife.
it? Okay.
She goes on everything. They go on everything.
Does the
Like-
Tower of Terror still exist?
No, Dane. That's called.
I thought they remodeled
that is
it into
called
something else
It's now Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
Of course, they
You guys
would have
gonna go
to
on that?
brand it
We're
with
gonna
one
go
of
on
the-
that.
So you're gonna go to
Of
Disney
course.
California Adventure too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we're gonna spend 2 days in Disneyland and a day at California Adventure, so yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. It's gonna be a
Okay.
good time. I'm very excited about it. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna get in Sunday night. Our hotel is right across the street, so we're literally gonna go grab some snacks and treats and stuff, and then we go in bright and early Monday morning. Hit the ground running. Thanks to our
Okay.
friends at Brooks.
Yes.
My wife and I are going to be rocking our new Ghost Maxes.
Ooh,
Wow.
Being able
comfy.
to make those quick transitions.
Yes, you
being
are.
able to stay ahead of the pack. And hopefully our kids will be able to keep up with us. That's the only worry I have, is that we're going to outrun them
Yep.
to things.
That's
and
rare though. Usually it's the kids outrunning the parents.
Yeah, I hope that's what I'm
Usually.
saying. I want them to keep up. That's the goal.
Maybe it'll make you break even. So
Possibly.
that way you're all on
You
the
know,
same footing.
so we're going to be enjoying some smooth comfort on our feet
Okay.
as we peruse the Disneyland park itself.
Yeah.
But we've got Augie's Pass, so we're going to be hitting the front of the lines on stuff, hopefully, and being able to get in and get out very quickly.
Do they have? So when we were in Disney World, we went
Uh-huh.
to the not Matterhorn? What
Yeah.
was it? What exists? What cross rides exist in these different places?
Space Mountain.
So Space Mountain exists.
There's the Matterhorn at Disneyland.
yeah.
What's the train?
They have the train.
Okay.
They have
The
actual,
roller coaster
they have the actual
train.
train that goes around, but they have the big Thunder Mountain
Thunder
Railroad.
Mountain,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They have Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain, and then there's the Bears. Is that Splash Mountain of the Bears?
Yeah, that's near there.
Okay.
I haven't been to Disneyland
Yeah.
since 1994.
I haven't been there
Oh my
since
God.
2000.
I was 95. I was a 15-year-old kid,
Okay,
and I
so
went
it's
on
been a while.
Indiana Jones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it was the first few months had been open.
There's the Jungle Cruise as well, and
Jungle
then there's
Cruise.
the Haunted Mansion.
We're gonna
right,
go on the Haunted Mansion.
which will be fun. We got
Yeah.
stuck on the Haunted Mansion.
We
When we were
did,
in, when we were
yeah.
in Disney World for,
Yeah.
and was it 30 minutes?
It
Or,
felt like it.
It was-
felt like an hour.
Yeah,
almost.
no, that
We
thing
got-
just stopped
we
and you're
just
all sitting
got
there.
stuck there, and the magic
I
really
started
went away.
I started getting creeped out.
Yeah.
I was in front of the bride, and I was
Yeah.
kind of starting to get a little
Well,
creeped
I'm
out
trying
by
to
her.
remember when we were in there, were the sounds still playing?
Yeah,
and
the
everything?
sounds
So
were
it's just like,
playing, yeah.
it's enough to drive a person completely
And it was
insane.
pitch black.
It was pitch
Yeah,
black.
it's
We were
totally
You
stuck
only
for
had the
30
ghost of the
minutes.
bride standing there
Yeah.
with her hatchet, and I kept going like, I can't keep staring at her.
She's
but
gonna
then if
move.
I would look to the left, it was just blackness.
Yeah.
And
You're
then
like,
if
I
I
don't
looked
like
to the
that.
right, it was just black, and it was just her to my peripheral, and I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
really like sitting here.
It
this
becomes
long.
a new kind of scary
And then
ride,
Anthony
yeah.
called out, "Are you all right up there?" I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm okay. Dane, are
funny,
you
dude.
okay?
Yeah.
Like,
I
good
think,
times.
I think that you'll have a good time, and I think that
We're gonna eat lots of food.
You're also going to get the better Pirates experience because
Yeah,
this
exactly.
Pirates ride
It's
has
better
the
than the-
better drop
Yep,
than
it's
the.
got 3 drops instead of 2.
Yeah, 3 drops to 2, and that first one's like a nice. It's gets you going.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
enjoyed
know
that
what?
one.
Both parks do have It's a Small World, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you going to suffer through it?
I'm gonna
I
suffer
was going to
through
say,
that.
I suffer every time somebody wants to go. It's like, oh, really?
My
Do we
wife and
have
kids
to?
really like it, and so
Oh, man.
I'm rolling with the crew.
The message is good, but my lord, the singing and everything,
Anyway, we're excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Super stoked to be there. So,
Is there Disney Springs in California at all?
no,
Okay, I didn't think so. So that's just a Florida thing.
nope.
All right. Say, get over here again. I think you wanted
Bearded
a second
Hunter
one?
saying,
Oh,
"What's
darn,
up, my
okay.
dudes? Glad to see you all back in the booth. Levi, sorry you got sick, but glad you're back. Thank you, Hunter. I appreciate it. Hunter, one of the Grand Ambassador contestants
Yes.
this year. Spencer B. Any plans on stocking P&S Crystal Wash? Anyone here have any experience with it? So it's one of those that we've had on our list, but we haven't added it, and I don't have a timeline as to when we would add Crystal Wash.
But eventually.
Yeah, but we hear great things about it.
Yeah. Hey, EC Detail saying, hey, everyone.
Hey,
right
hey.
back.
What's going on?
And then saying hey to everybody else, it looks like. Let's get Chris up on the horn.
Saying, so nice in Minnesota right now. I'm in the driveway doing a bucket wash, listening to the podcast.
Ooh,
Nice.
That's nice.
Way to do it. Umberto, dang. I thought the apocalypse was finished. Levi, get well soon and enjoy Disneyland. Thank you, Umberto. Appreciate it. And the Bearded Hunter, if you had to choose one wash media, towel, etc. for your soap rinseless washing, what would you choose? I had to choose one. I guess if I had to bounce between soap and rinseless, I would just use a towel. And I'd probably just use a Wolfpack towel for both.
In the interest
Because
of...
it's a towel and it's easy to use.
Yeah. Well, and you can do a thorough job with the towel.
Yeah.
It's really good at holding a lot of moisture.
And I used a Wolfpack recently with soap. And did a soap and water bucket
those
wash
are great for that.
with Wolfpack.
holds the suds pretty
it's
well.
very nice.
Kind of in a way like the old Minx did.
And it glides.
Yeah.
It's a very nice glide.
I think
What about you?
myself, dude, I don't know. I'm just like...
Because I know what
for
I would do.
The mix between the two, if like I had to choose one, like I mean, obviously I'm obsessed with all the cyclones. I mean, I love everything cyclone related. I'm a big wash pad guy, but when you pull in rinseless, because I do most of our washes are rinseless, the chenille is a great.
Yeah, chenille's a good
Chenille.
one.
Is a
Often
great,
overlooked because people think, oh, it's kind of like the cheaper option. I'm going to go crazy.
Good price
Chenille's
point.
great.
Chenille's
Dude, I
nice.
Chenille's great.
I keep those chenilles stocked, dude. I mean, at my house, I have a box that I'll use them for.
Have you thought about
I'll use them for 20, 30 washes, and I go, you know what? This served its $5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So,
swap
question. Here's something to do with those after you've done washing your cars with them.
it. Wheels, floors,
No.
baseboards.
Here's something you could do. Have you thought about putting them on your dog's feet
Ooh,
and duct taping them,
creating little mittens.
creating mittens for them to walk around the house?
So you can dust.
It does. They
All
clean
right,
up
dog, dust
the
away.
dog hair, and hey,
Yeah.
throw some on Lucy.
I
Oh,
could.
Okay.
Some little foot,
Yeah.
Yeah, just go
Same
walk
thing.
around.
Just duct tape them to her so she can't take them off.
Or
Same
I'm
with the
like,
dog.
go hug those corners a little bit right
Yeah.
there. Really get in there. Get in like
Yeah, maybe
cracks
put them
and
on her
crevices.
arms too, just for fun.
Here,
She'll
try
think
these new
she's a funny
sandals.
monster.
Those look a lot like sponges. Yeah, but they're sandals.
You guys could pretend she's a scary monster and run around the
Okay.
house and have her chase you.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
But at the same
Yeah.
time,
oh no,
sweeping and cleaning.
She's dusting the house.
I wanna shout
don't
out-
get too close to that shelf.
yeah, get
I
her
want
and
to
the
shout out
dogs.
our chenille in particular because we've tried a lot of different chenilles over the years and all kinds of different places. There are some like cheap whatever ones, but I will say the ones we carry are particularly soft and particularly good. So
No,
I
our
want
chenilles-
to give them a
chenilles-
real shout there.
Our chenilles are great. I'm a huge fan of our chenille mitts. I think they're the perfect price point. They're the perfect, the different colors there, and it's just. Yeah, it's just an old faithful kind of thing for me. I just really like our chenilles.
I would use an ultra sponge because I like how fast it is.
Yes, you
I
do,
like
Dane.
that.
Dane likes
Yeah.
efficiency. In Focus Photography says not detail related,
Oh,
but excited we got a solar panel installed on the house
Nice.
today. Nice,
All
dude.
right.
Very cool.
pretty soon you're going to start producing energy for
There you
the
go.
power.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Joey saying, EC saying,
yeah.
did we do some Tesla tiles? Joey Belinsky saying, I would use my large, soft, bare hands. And then In Focus saying, no, Palmetto was the company we got. Very
Okay.
nice. And then Benjamin Lott saying, I just picked up my truck from the body shop today. I was in a pretty gnarly accident 4 months ago. They replaced a couple panels on the fender on the right side. I feel overspray. Don't want to take it back. Mix up some clay lube.
Up here. He wants to know
Best way to remove. Thanks, dudes. Pick up some clay lube or mix up some rinseless, some O&R or Absolute at 164 to 1 and spray it down and clay it and then polish it. That's the easiest way. You're going to want to wash and just clay the whole car because you're going to feel it all over the place.
Now, like the clay towel and the clay mitt are going to be a little more gentle. If you want to be more aggressive, you can use the clay bar.
Yeah.
And there's options out there for that.
Just know the more that you go light, do a test panel, see if you can be as light as you want. Sometimes, yes, you can. When I bought the Fusion, car was covered in overspray.
Oh, really?
And I took it home and washed it, and I had to be pretty forceful with it to really break it all off the surface of the vehicle with my Ultra Clay Mitt. But once I got through it, it was fine, and I just had to repolish the whole car, even though it was white.
Yeah.
But so just see. You might be able to have it wipe right off, no problem. Others, you may feel like, oh man, I actually really got to go to town on this. Just know you may have to polish something like that.
And for those who don't have
Afterwards.
overspray but do have just normal contamination on the surface and you want to clay, our normal recommendation is just using simply the weight of the actual towel, the object, the mitt, whatever it is. Don't apply pressure. You don't need to usually. If you don't want to introduce, marring, that kind of thing, you don't have to.
Yeah.
As long as your lubrication is good. All right. Details of me. Can you / would you / should you use rinseless wash sponges for contact washes with soap? Or are those two different technologies that shouldn't be crossed?
No.
So, like the Ultra Black sponge can be used as soap.
Yes, it can.
No
Yep.
issues there. People do it when we do it all the time. I mean, it was designed to be worked with both. So, yeah, you can use it with soap. No issues.
I mean, technically, you could use any medium you want with soap, but some will behave better than others, and we know that the black sponge will, in fact, work well with it.
3M Auto Spa saying, part 2, we rescheduled our fleet account from Wednesday to Thursday today because of the rain, and we still got rain, but was able to complete it before the rain.
Ah,
Hey,
just in the nick
congratulations.
of time.
Yeah. And then Too Fresh saying, hey, everybody, happy Friday Eve to all. I recently saw that someone uses Express diluted 5-to-1. What are your thoughts on that dilution? You can do that. I think it's a little light, but
Yeah.
if it's on a not very dirty car, it's perfectly fine. It's not going to hurt anything.
5-to-1's pretty light. I would say 1-to-1, yeah, all day long. 2-to-1, sure. 3-to-1, yeah, maybe. But 5-to-1, you're just kind of spraying soapy water.
You might as
At
well
that
just
point.
use
You're not really getting
O&R like a rinseless instead, like 256 to 1, and get a more efficient product if you're going to dilute that much anyway.
Yep, exactly.
Just a different way to go. You're still going to clean at that point.
Yep. This is a great comment by the Bearded Hunter. Joey Belinsky, you're the OG reacher tool with all of the microfiber attachments.
A reacher tool-sized gentleman.
There you go.
That's hilarious.
Umberto is saying the Ultra Black Sponge is for both soap and rinseless. Yes, just like we said. Then we got Joey here. Bearded Hunter. I'm like the wacky, wavy, inflatable dudes at the dealerships.
There you
That's
go.
right. Okay, moving on to the next page. Details of me saying thank you for clarifying. And are we on page 3? Oh, we are. So we're on to page 2 now.
All right.
There we go.
David Bradshaw, come on, Rag Company. Come up with a zippered microfiber vacuum hose cover.
So
We've talked about that.
I've
Kind of like a CPAP machine.
I don't know if we would do it zippered, though.
it's not zippered.
A zipper is going to be.
I have a design idea that
Fold
I've come
over.
up with,
You're,
and it's good, and it would actually work really, really well. It's more or less, it's kind of like it is at a certain point. Is it a gimmicky thing?
yeah,
right?
so
Yeah.
I like where you're headed. I like where David Bradshaw's headed, but here's what I did. I used to get plastic seat covers that you can buy from the Rag Company, MVP Detail Supply store over
Sure.
here. The plastic tearaway seat covers, basically large amounts of cellophane,
No.
Yeah.
like drop cloths. And then I would take my shop hose and I would pressure wash it, clean it all off, then roll it with that cellophane, tape it off on either end, and then we would take that when we were doing RVs, when we were doing trailers, when we were doing boats, anything in which we had to bring a lot of hose
Yeah.
into the area and space, and we would try and keep it off the ground
Yeah.
and bring it in and then set it down. That way we had clean extractor vacuum lines that were
Yeah, that
completely
makes
encased, and we'd do that. But then when we were done, we could just tear them off and throw them away.
Now,
Yeah.
one thinks maybe you could also, instead of taping it, do the exact same thing you said, but what if you use a nice strong rubber band, you throw one down there and it gets inside the ridges, like the ribs,
Yep.
and then you put one in and it locks it, so that way it can't move around.
Correct, yeah.
Because with the tape, unless you're like really tightening it up super tight, it's still not going to stay put exactly. It
Now
might-
we're,
No,
now
that's
we're,
the
now
hardest
we're
thing.
discussing possible future products, though. That's what scares
I'm just
me.
saying. That's why I'm telling you
'Cause
about
I,
plastic.
I'm just throwing it out there if
I
someone wants to do a
have
little DIY.
the idea, and I know
Okay.
I know how it would be done the right way.
I'm not giving away your idea.
It's just what we don't know is everybody be slipping this Jimmy on their hose, right?
Right, yeah.
For their details, and I mean, which I would hope they would, but at the same time,
It's for the protection of everything around you.
microfiber does
Yeah.
collect a lot
everything.
of dirt and a lot of debris, so it has to be the right type. So,
Yeah.
anyways, we'll keep you updated, David, with the progress.
You don't
want to
drag a bare microfiber towel on a shop floor.
Shiny LED Telling says, happy TRC live stream day.
What's up, man?
And welcome.
And then Eddie says, dun, dun, dun.
There you go.
The Bearded Hunter, any rinseless sponge would work for a bucket wash. UBS and Legacy would be the ones I'm picking up, or Kamikaze makes one.
There you go.
That is super, super soft.
Yep.
That works. Same comment twice. I think it just got duplicated.
Simon Birch saying, remember that like, folks? Yeah, good
Yes.
reason. Go like it. And then Josh McKay, good afternoon, everyone, from a cold 74 degrees in Miami,
sounds
lol.
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cold.
Okay. Well, yeah, maybe chilly for you.
And then, let's see, Hans with a happy Friday Eve, people. EC just asking for some chicken.
I don't know
stuff.
what's happening there.
Further details saying, you guys missed the first part of my question on diamond wheels. Can or should you apply two coats? So yeah, we forgot to tell you, you can. That's fine if you want to. You don't have to.
I've always just done one coat.
Yeah.
Never had an issue.
Yeah.
Hans waving. And then Simon Birch says, so my brand new Twist and Shouts are now collector items. Well, I guess
they
so.
You could look at it that way.
I guess so.
They are.
There's some true vintage towels that are out there that sold in small numbers, but they exist.
And then Super Auto saying, hey, a vid of Jamie the Cleaner at PNS looked like a batch of Clean Maker being made to me. Who knows? They, like I said, they rolled out the red carpet, literally.
Yeah.
And then Simon Birch saying,
no.
Anthony stretching holes sounds wrong.
Oh, no.
Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Simon
And then
never
3M
really
Auto's
know.
fault. That's the same one we saw from
Oh,
before.
part two. No.
So, no. It's the
gotcha.
same. It's the same. Wow, I'm on to page 1 already. Guys, bring those comments and questions. We're just flying through them. That's what's happening today.
So we'll let some people climb in here. So Spencer
Yeah.
B of Shine Your Light with a laugh.
Yep.
Spencer
Go
B
back, page 1.
saying, my fiance loves those felt hangers and I can't stand them. It's plastic all the way for me.
Dude, I wish. I want that
That's what I'm saying.
smooth plastic, baby. Alex G says, just joined. Tried to buy Rags and Riches, sold out.
Where are you
Rip and
trying
rag.
to buy it at?
He's saying
Rip and
he's
rag.
saying
Oh,
the
no.
rip-
Oh,
it's
so-
not
okay.
even it's not even on the
Rip and Rag's not available yet. It's on the website
It's-
as a kind of a just let yourself know when it's available.
Yeah.
And but Monday they will be going
It'll
on.
be a
It's
live
basically just
Monday.
giving people a page that they
Yeah.
can save, that they can go back to
Yep.
and look at on Monday.
Yeah. And then Joey says the Detail Factory wheel face brush is the GOAT. Used it for the first time last weekend and literally shed a tear.
It's a good
It's
brush.
a nice brush, comfortable. Then Joey says, don't miss out on Radiator Springs, Racer's most fun ride in the whole damn. That's what I heard.
Okay.
I can't wait. I'm actually looking forward to that one.
That should be
That's
hard.
Cars.
yeah.
It's cars, yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
one I'm looking forward to, and going to Radiator Springs just in general. Because I really like Cars. When Hadley was born, was a movie that I watched probably 10,000 times.
Oh my gosh.
That and Rapunzel or Tangled.
Tangled.
Those
Okay.
two we watched nonstop
Yeah.
for like 5 years solid. And then same with Augie. Augie came in and it was like, that's what we watched. And then we watched Cars 2 and Cars 3 and stuff. But Cars itself, I've watched so many times, I can't even count. So I'm very excited to be able to go.
Do you have a favorite Cars movie out of the?
I like the first one the most. I
first
think the
one
first
is
first one's the best because it just established
The second
everything.
one
It's
actually
good.
got Pixar
Does a lot
in
of
trouble
world
for
building.
doing a hack sequel, but
Yeah.
yeah, the third one was actually decent.
Third one was
Yeah.
really good. I
Yeah.
cried on the third one a couple times.
Third one actually pulled it back
Yeah.
together.
The third one was beautifully
Second
done
one was
too.
not good.
No.
No, there's something fun stuff in it, but the whole thing clearly feels like an ad.
Yeah.
Very excited though to check it out, Joey. Alex G with a question that has been this. Alex, you're not the first one to ask this question, so don't be afraid. But it says, can we use rinseless as a replacement for over-the-counter windshield wiper fluid? No. No. I tried it personally 10 years ago. Doesn't work.
Here's why. 1, can it clean your windshield?
Yes.
2, can it freeze when it gets cold out? Yes.
So here's what you get. You want something like that? Get yourself the Rain-X wiper, windshield wiper fluid, specifically the orange one.
Yeah.
It is the best one for your glass, for that stuff, because it's antifreeze. It'll actually help thaw your windshield, so you can spray it on, and it'll actually
It actively
thaw the
melts
window,
ice,
melts the
yeah.
window, and it's pH neutral, so it's not gonna affect your paint or wax in those areas. So It wipes right off when it dries. It stays in a polymer.
Against
very nice.
So yeah, there's a lot of people who ask that
Anthony
question.
keeps his reservoir empty.
Yeah, there's no reason.
So there's no temptation.
He doesn't like it because he thinks
washer.
it's going to leave marks on the rest of the car. Stuff's going to spray a little over and then dry on a surface.
That on my
and
pure
things.
paint.
He doesn't want that. He'd rather just let the bugs sit and bake in.
Absolutely, Dane. I would.
So that's one way of looking at it.
And then Super Auto saying, have you all recovered from cleaning the world's dirtiest truck? Wow.
That was a few months ago.
That was a long one.
Man.
Yeah.
That was a few months ago when we shot that video. That was a horrific experience.
It was amazing.
The video
day.
makes it look bad, but I swear it was worse in person.
It was worse in person.
It was worse in person.
The owner was so happy. I mean, he was so pumped when he got it.
Yeah.
And but I mean, yeah, it's just a work truck, man. I mean, that's really what it was. It was just something that just gets used and abused, dogs in it, all sorts of different things. And it's a good video. Looking back, we got so much, guys, that there was 40 hours of footage on that video that we cut down to
a 10-minute
10
video.
minutes.
10 minutes.
Like, so it kind of makes me sad because I go, gosh, there was so much good stuff, but it's like there was just how much filth you just want to keep
how
saying,
much
blast it out.
cleaning.
There is
How
a
much
bit
cleaning?
of an unofficial prequel that people maybe missed, but there's another video where we separated out the footage that we did to clean the bugs off of the truck.
Yeah.
And you can actually watch that separately because that was its own video release. So if you look back in our more recent videos, you can kind of find it going back like a month or two.
Yep.
And you'll see it there because those bugs, I noticed they didn't really feature it too much in this video, but you'll see that's because it got its own standalone. So check that out.
It was
if you're
Bug
curious
Off
what they did
versus
about that.
G-Technics Bug Remover versus Green Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good comparison.
It was a very dirty vehicle, and that's why I kind of tried to speak about how funny it was because we kept pulling it out of the studio because it was so filthy.
Yeah.
And we tried to do as much as we could when we were blowing it out, taking the seats out and blowing all that dog hair out, was just to keep it from being inside our clean detail studio because it was so filthy.
It reminded me a little bit, it gave me flashbacks of when we were cleaning out my truck.
Yeah.
Right, when I got my free truck. But
without the ease of the rubber floor.
Yeah, but my truck wasn't even that bad. I mean,
no, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was that
It was not.
Tacoma
It was not.
Yeah.
pretty dirty. Next up here we have Dan Pfeiffer here. It says, who makes reactive soap? Kosh Chemi does.
Yep, KCX. And then Super Auto saying, Spencer, both Jamie the Cleaner and Sydney have put out videos on Crystal Wash. You can check them out. And then Brett G with a Foam Pro 2 question. Ooh. Cannot get a good fan spray out of it using BrakeBuster 5-1.
Brett.
Have run clean water through after use and clean the filter. Still comes out more as the stream.
5-1. What are you doing, dude?
No. 10-1.
10-1, man. You're going way too thick. I don't know where
Especially
the 5-1 information keeps getting out
10-1,
there.
dude. If
Remember
you want,
I think
Brett,
it's from my very first video,
yeah,
maybe.
Brett, bring your Foam Pro 2 here. Anthony will give you a private lesson on mixture.
He will show you that your sprayer can in fact do that
I will
in person. It'll
show
work.
you how to do it. And basically, you could have a clogged filter. BrakeBuster does clog those filters very fast, especially if you're using it thick. So it may be the fact that we just need to swap the filter out and make sure there's no clogs in the system. But I guarantee you that if you go fill that thing 10-1. If you have the Foam Pro 2, is it the Plus? If you do have the Plus, hit that thing with a compressor, max it out all the way, and then go let it rip at 10-1. If that doesn't fix it, then it is a filter issue, and we just swap it to a new filter.
It's the filter fighting the viscosity of the product. It's not like hand soap where you deliberately get the kind of gel type hand soaps that foam out that way. That's a totally different kind of deal. These ones you want it to be a little more watery, otherwise it's not going to work right.
Yeah, Brett, come on in. Bring your Foam Pro 2. Bring your Miata. Dane will take it for a spin. Anthony will teach you how to use the BrakeBuster, and when you're done, the car will be warm. Dane will be back. He may or may not have run to Express Cafe or up to Bogus and back with it.
But I'll fill your tank.
Either one. But
87.
Point is, you'll be good to go. So I mean, that sounds like a great idea to me. Joey Belinsky with an Anthony retires the chenilles to the shower after 30 washes.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I'm trying to think. I think my chenilles get less uses than my own
your own body scrubber.
Body scrubber. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Shad with I need more Ultra Air Blasters. Sold out in like 14 or 17 seconds. So freaking awesome.
The people
friends
are
at
like
Butco.
feral for those things, man.
So that's kind of the goal is that we are getting our first orders out to distributors before we put them on the site. So Budco, where Shad works, Gary from Long Island, folks like that are going to be getting those first before. So
getting closer to home for people.
Carson Black saying, hey, guys.
Hey, Carson.
What's up, man? And Super Auto saying, forensic swears by Chenille.
Yes.
You're right, man. He does.
And on to page 1.
Wow, finally on to 1. All right, so I was just going to take a couple seconds here and talk about we were talking about how dirty that vehicle was, how dirty that truck was, and how much we used it. I think we used almost every tool available in our arsenal.
It had to.
To the point that you guys don't know this, but we actually overheated our air compressor. We have a 20-gallon.
I don't think we've ever done that before.
We have a 20-gallon California Air Tools air compressor, and we were blowing so much air and having it drain the tank and fill back up and drain the tank that it was just solidly running. We hit the heat limit switch on it and shut the air compressor off because we were blowing so much dog hair out of that. But what came in really handy was a lot of people, I don't know if you guys realize this, and I said it in the video, we utilized all the different dog hair brush or pet hair brushes from Detail Factory.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of those came in handy. So if you've been looking at some of those and you're like, oh, that's a squeegee. Why do I need that? Or, the cards seems kind of different. I've got a for real. We used everything. We used all the for real tools. We used all the Detail Factory tools. And it was so nice to be able to try where maybe one was working really well or one didn't work as well, and we were able to switch to a different tool and utilize that. It goes back to having the right tool for the job. And that's one of the greatest things is just like we have so many different sizes of wrenches or so many different sizes of screwdrivers or so many different versions of pliers, the same thing happened on this heavily soiled dog-haired vehicle. We were using every single dog hair tool we had, and wow, really made a huge, huge difference.
And there were a couple of things I saw people, comment on the video. Obviously, a lot of people were like, holy cow, that is like the dirtiest truck you guys have ever worked on this channel. But there were a few folks who I think maybe came in from like other disaster details. We're used to seeing like how other people may do stuff. They questioned like the order we did things in, but there was a purpose to that. And the other thing was I saw this one cracked me up. Because at a glance, I could see where they might have thought it, but in reality, it just wasn't going to happen. One of the commenters looked at it and said, I could have fixed those headlights. I don't know why you guys had to replace them. I could have fixed that. And it's like, well,
Anthony,
they're pretty brittle.
You did that. You fixed those headlights.
On the
Tacoma.
Yeah, they were fixed, sure. Yeah, that it's literally cracks in them. There's like
on the inside.
Cracks in them, but it was already fractured. I mean, everything was fractured. There was so much dust in the headlights. They were wasted, dude.
What I'm saying is, whatever someone may think, looking at it, not having been there in person, they may have looked salvageable, but we promise you they
Trust
were
me,
not.
I am I feel like I am the headlight whisperer, and like knowing how to like, all right, I got to get behind this much plastic.
Sure.
I'm dealing with this much thickness, and I can polish this out. I can usually probably sand this mark out. I go into it pretty in depth, but like those headlights, I looked at them. We literally took a buffer to them, went like this. I go, yeah. So there's a crack right here. There's a hole in the headlight.
Yeah, there's cracks on the inside.
I'm like,
this
has got so much dust and dirt into it. We literally have to separate the lenses from the housing. I'm like, no, we'll just go buy new headlights.
Just go buy new headlights.
This is ridiculous.
And the taillights weren't any better.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that. They don't. They look at it and they go, from here it looks fine. I could fix that.
Because
it's not until
all seen a car with yellow headlights we were able to fix. It's not.
It's not until you get into it and you actually look closely and you get right up on it with a fine tooth comb and you go, oh.
Physically fractured, split, air can get inside. That's when it's just immediately a no.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super Auto with a
Chenille. I love that.
Chenille.
Spice.
Yeah.
Spice.
Benjamin Lott with a thanks. Once I clay, what would be the best pad polish to start with? Thanks again. Honestly, Benjamin, for you, you could grab some Uno Protect, and I would grab yellow wool, blue wool, yellow foam, and play around with those. Blue wool being your roughest, then yellow wool, then yellow foam. And just play with that product on there, and I think you'd probably get some really good results with it.
All right. Crisscross, we've got, hey guys, Nice to be back. Nice to have you back.
Nice.
Work's been busy. Quick question, though. How would you unclog twist loop towels that have seen their share of bead maker? Been soaking in Rags to Riches and Green Star for 2 days. Not 100%.
Rinse them
yeah.
and then run them again. You may have to wash them a couple times.
Yeah.
After you've been soaking them in Rags to Riches and Green Star for 2 days, you are going to have to wash them and then run them through another wash cycle and hope that is where it is. If not, throw them in only Rags to Riches and soak them that way.
Yeah,
So,
you don't necessarily want
Yep.
two chemicals trying to fight each other to do something similar.
mhm.
Right. Then Super Auto here. Go ahead.
Tube socks for vacuum hoses for the win. Cut the toe off and voila.
I mean, that'll cover like the
Yeah.
first maybe little foot, but then after that,
Mhm.
you gotta put a few more. All right, and then I've got G Davis.
Dane's CPAP machine was a setting from back in the day called Asian Female Neighbor.
Oh my God, no!
Jeez.
Oh my God!
I can't say that,
I can't
Gene.
Oh my God.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
man.
Simon Birch saying, I'm just saying, a red FTW. That was hilarious, Gene.
For those who are
Thank
listening to
you.
this on a podcast sometime in the future, if you're ever curious where we're like, oh, I can't say that, you can still watch the video back on the YouTube channel.
Oh
and see
my
yourself.
gee.
gosh.
There you go.
Uh,
Chris
breaking
Cross.
me, man.
Also, I was on vacay last week driving to LA from Denver, and 2 Nano Magic washes while stopping in Arizona, and man oh man, those were some of the easiest washes, and the fragrance was oh so nice.
Nice.
Ooh, that's
Yes.
awesome. Speaking of which, we are at the 3 o'clock mark,
Yeah.
which means that we are halfway through this show.
You can answer
and-
Simon at this
No,
little
we
closing
can't,
part.
Dane, because it already got cut off.
It's literally
So,
a one-word
yeah,
answer.
It's
Where we're at.
Yep, we're
Okay.
already here. So,
I guess he has to
anyways, we are going to be going to a quick short break where you're going to hear some quick short ads from ourselves and our friends within the detailing industry. And after that, we will be back to answer more of your detailing questions.
BRB.
Go ahead, get dirty. P&S Off-Road.
and welcome back to the Q&A that you know and love here at the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel. Once again, I'm Dane Hennon, that's Levi Gates, and that's Anthony Fisher. Let's get back to the questions. Pop them up on the screen here, please. All right, so Simon Birch, as we call him, did have a question that Anthony so rudely denied him an answer to right before he left with the messages.
Sorry.
But you know what, Anthony? As your punishment, I'm going to have you answer them now.
Will the interior scrub mitts ever make a comeback? Yes, they will, in maybe just a different form.
All right.
They're not gone forever, but they are just taking a little bit of a hiatus for right now. While we make some improvements, other things.
Things are always going through a state of evolution. Like we said about the drying towels, etc. Mm-hmm. If there's a chance to improve something, we're working on it.
Yep. Joey Belinsky, an extra tall Jack Reacher-sized gentleman. Believe it or not, I actually watched a small clip from the new Jack Reacher.
Yeah, are you excited?
Season.
Are you ready to watch it?
And it's like he went and punched through a window to save a woman who was being carjacked or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, he's like, hey, I just don't want to get involved, right? And I go, then why'd you do that?
I keep getting involved.
Because he doesn't like bullies.
I know, but he's like, I just don't want to be in the middle of it. And I go, well, you just got yourself in the middle of it, man.
Yeah, but he doesn't like bullies, and he can't.
I cannot abide that.
He cannot abide that. So it supersedes all of that. So
I know, but
he solved the problem, and then he left.
Why is he always ending up in these small towns?
Because he's a
and
drifter.
Where are they finding all these small towns? Is this all on the East Coast?
No, it's all over the country.
It's on the South?
Here's one of the
what
core
75% of this country in terms of land is, right? It's small,
so here's the deal.
rural.
Here's the deal. Jack Reacher's been in the military for a very long time.
Yeah.
He gets out. He now.
But wouldn't you say that there's more larger corrupt towns that need his help?
But that's the problem. Here's the thing.
Towns?
He's just going where the wind takes him. Mm-hmm. He moves forward, never backward.
Whatever train he's jumping on, whatever Greyhound bus.
Yeah, he literally looks at a sign.
Only rural Greyhound bus stations.
Well, he goes. No, he takes trains. He'll hitchhike. He'll get rides. He'll go, where are you headed? And they'll say, hey, we're headed to just outside of Denver. And he'll go, all right, and he'll hop along on the ride. Then he'll
why
get out
can't it
and then
be
he's
in
there.
Denver? Why can't he be doing work in Denver or like Detroit or
He
like
has. If you've
or
read
like
the books,
the Bronx,
he's gone
or
to a number of different
somewhere
places.
that needs his services.
He owns a house in New York.
As upstate New York.
Yeah, upstate New York.
Yeah. So, but like away from everybody.
But near New York City. His
I think
general
he
gave him
also
a
chooses
home.
Places where like the local, authorities, we'll call them, don't have like a built-in SWAT team or like some extra heavy duty.
What it
built-in
is
stuff. He's going places where he can essentially be like the guy.
But he's not doing that on purpose.
I know, but it feels like it
sometimes he's going
It's
just to listen to
convenient.
some music.
Because you
and
go
while
to
he's
like a
there,
big metro area, you're going to get
finds out.
stopped so fast doing what he does.
But all he's doing is he's going where the wind takes him.
Mm-hmm.
He's walking into a town, and maybe he just wants to get a slice of pie.
Sure.
But all of a sudden, he gets harassed by either somebody who is not doing what they're supposed to, and they're treating somebody the wrong way, or
And then it spirals into so much
and then it just turns into something else. He stumbles upon this
because
or
the
that.
plot requires it.
I will tell you, 28 books in,
It's ridiculous.
nothing surprises me anymore because of
28
what the
books.
stuff that
28
Jack Reacher
books
gets
of
into.
coincidences.
28
I think
adventures.
When are they going
28
to? When are they going to
adventures.
stop this?
No, they're not. They just got to waiting for the 29th. I finally caught up.
It's ridiculous, and he's all doing this in the U.S.
Yeah,
Every
well,
book.
No, some of them are flashbacks to different situations that he's had overseas. When he's been in Germany, when he's been in France, when he's been in the military. Some of the operations that he's been in.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Okay.
That have come back to haunt him.
It just seems like a lot. So, anyways, Joey
on that
says the entire
Oh,
team.
whoops, sorry.
Yeah,
I waited so long. I thought you guys already read it.
No, Dane. The entire team at PNS were the most hospitable group of people and really know how to make you feel welcome. Shout out to Bob, Sydney, Dave, and Tony.
Nice.
Right
All right.
on, man. I'm glad they
Yes.
accepted you with wide open arms there for a guy that is of your size. I mean, I saw you next to that in that photo next to Tony.
No,
Yeah.
Tony's profile
It's
picture is
hilarious.
the best thing I've seen in
Yeah,
ages.
great.
Yes.
Jeff C says, I picked up some GFX from OG. How much do you put in the foam cannon? Also, how much Green Star to add to be similar to active foam? Need to decon my wife's car before winter and apply some sealants. Jeff, off the top of our heads, I don't have that number, but I will say it's exactly the same as GSF. It's just GSF with a different scent. Is
Yeah,
what
I think I was
GFX
putting
is.
like
Functionally, you're
100
looking at the
100
It's
same
like
kind of
100 mils or
performance.
something.
Yeah.
150 mils in and just letting
Yeah.
it rip. Yeah.
Okay. On to page 2. Crisscross, you go. All right.
Crisscross says, single rider lane for the Radiator Springs racers to ride over and over, coming from someone who would go to DLR every Sunday growing up.
Nice.
Oh, nice. And then first from Puerto Rico, yeah, Cars is a great movie. Same movie I watched after Third Sons was born out of Four Sons.
Oh, so
Nice.
the
3
first
out
one
of
didn't
4.
get that, huh?
Yeah. Super Auto, been rocking the orange Rain-X wiper fluid for years.
It's a good call.
That's good stuff.
Not pure.
And then Anthony.
Bill Pearson says, hey guys, been a minute since I caught a live, but watching from the deep south of HB today.
Nice. Huntington Beach.
Huntington Beach. Oh, of course. Obviously.
Long way down there.
Obviously. The deep south oil fields.
Yeah.
Hamilton Beach, my favorite makers
looking
of
for a-
mixers and various.
Well,
you know,
I didn't
vegetable
touch on
cutting
that.
tools.
I'm
Let me
excited.
answer this. Hold on. He says, looking for new exterior plastics dressing. What's your favorite? I'm a big fan of PSS from Kosh Chemi. I love Gumi. I'm also a big fan, not Gumi Fix, but Gumi from Sternagloss. I'm also a big fan of Over the Top. Gosh, what else?
OptiBond is another great one.
OptiBond is also great, but PSS is usually I think it's on my shelf right now that I'm using often.
easy.
So what were you gonna say?
Oh,
You're
I was just
excited
going
about
to
the
say,
weather?
I'm excited that I'm going to be close to the Deep South in LA.
You are going to be technically.
I'm going to be in
honestly-
Anaheim.
So what's funny is that the
So you're
origin
saying
story of
I might get some lightning bugs, is what you're saying, outside my hotel room?
Well, so the origin story of
Might hear the
of the
banjo?
Deep South in the general,
Right,
the full story, right?
Yeah.
That man,
Yeah.
right, where this whole thing started.
This Southern gentleman.
the Southern gentleman. That's where he was essentially from. Was the Anaheim area?
Yeah.
Right.
Notoriously a very Southern,
A very-
down home
Oh boy.
kind of
Yes.
place.
Yeah.
A lot of people know that.
Like Orange County, Anaheim, like it
Yeah.
was like that kind of area. It's just hilarious.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of Pomeranians and Golden Retrievers in the Anaheim
Yes.
So I'm excited
OC
to be in the
area.
deep south.
Yeah, so I mean,
not since Florida,
it's
Georgia
the
area.
fan
I'm excited
boats.
to feel the same kind of warm hospitality that
warm
the
southern
deep south,
hospitality
yeah.
that you're going to get there. Definitely a lot of
Sweet
southern
tea and fried
comfort,
chicken.
comfort foods, right? And a long of like really long drawn out, words and things
Yeah.
like that when they're speaking. A lot
Oh,
that
yeah.
southern drawl.
Yeah. Well, everybody
know.
says, that, those folks that come from the South, the true
Yeah.
South, that go to LA always say, feels just like home.
Wow.
Yes.
And it's almost indistinguishable.
Absolutely. When they're
Just
when
ask
they're,
James.
They
when they're
said
in the
that
middle
Southern
of downtown
hospitality-
LA,
Yep,
they
they
say
say
this
it's-
feels
I
so
might
much
as- yeah.
like the Everglades.
I might as well be in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Nolans.
I might as well be on a swamp boat,
Yep.
with
They feel same way.
getting the mud bugs, the little out of the ground, and,
Yeah.
and
You're
making
talking
my
about lightning bugs and June
my
bugs.
boils.
Yep, exactly. Same
Yeah.
thing. So it'll be
Yikes.
good.
Davis. I'm excited for Dane's Boise Actors Studio production of Godzilla Plus One, a love story. Dane will, of course, play himself with special guest star Joey Belinsky as our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. Here I thought you were going to have Joey
flashback and
play the actual Godzilla in a rubber suit. That would have been something. But instead, he's Abraham Lincoln. That's a fun twist.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
All right. Is this a period piece? David.
David Bradshaw, forget the orange stuff. In Canada, we use Rain-X Clearview Extreme Protection. Windshield washer fluid, good for negative 50 degrees centigrade. It's blue.
Nice.
That's some real hardcore stuff right there. Caleb Vole, happy Thursday, guys. Made it today's live on my 2005 Tundra. All my rubber and window trim, roof trim are getting dried out. What is the best product I can use to condition and protect the rubber? Thank you. So, Caleb, you can use PSS like Anthony suggested. You can use a trim restorer from Solution Finish and then use over the top on top of that to continue to protect it. PSS would be great for some of the rubber to help nourish and replenish some of that. Some of those plastics, you could probably get away with just using PSS for a while. But I would recommend jumping on and getting some Solution Finish and putting that in there just to hydrate and bring back some of that color. And then from there, you could go into PSS or you could just use over the top.
All right. Then I got Gran F simply saying yurt, as Gran does from time to time, followed by Riggs 920 afternoon all shouting out from not sunny Green Bay. Shout out right back to Green Bay. All right. The following up with another question. Finally got around to using my Ultra Air Blaster, not plaster. Loved it. Any tips you've learned or you've all learned or learned from others since its release? Okay, so looking for tips, maybe detail hacks, things like that. I feel like they've been pretty straightforward. I haven't seen anything
use
too
it,
innovative
and
or crazy different than what we were already doing with them.
Yeah.
So if somebody has something cool that they've seen or heard, feel free to bring it up. I just haven't
Works
seen
great.
it.
Works great.
They
Blow
just
up, blow
work.
up, blow out the interiors. Have fun with it. Yeah.
All right.
And then we have a
Super
Super Auto that says a little response to David Bradshaw. Yeah, I would use something that goes lower temp, but unfortunately the ingredients for those are not allowed for sale in the country I live in. I can get them elsewhere though.
Interesting.
And then he says, but then again, it rarely gets below freezing very long here in northern Georgia.
Okay.
And then BMER.
Beamer.
Any insights on PNS Crystal Wash? I was going to pick up Stoner's Iron Remover, but leaning forward toward Crystal Wash now. Honestly, they're chemically different products, but Crystal Wash is a great decon wash, and you can pick it up from PNS. The Stoners, I've heard great things about that product too. I have some. I just haven't had a chance to use it yet, but it's also really good. So, yeah, I don't think you're going to have any issues.
Yep.
Michael Kaufman, when will the Ultra Air Blaster be back in stock? We are hoping Monday.
By Monday.
is the hope.
Tuesday.
Next week for sure. So,
It's all about when that
and
truck
then
shows up.
Beamer asking, recently got my IK Multi Pro 12 Plus for rinseless washings from your blackout sale. It's so good.
It is. It's
So
an
good.
amazing tool, and definitely need to create some more content on it because it's the ultimate rinseless wash tool. I mean, it is. I mean, it's the
doesn't
ultimate
get
rinseless
better
wash
than
tool.
that.
Turn your air compressor for a minute or two, let that thing power up, bam, fill that tank, and you're gonna have more than enough pressure to do really any type of rinsing that you're going to want to do, especially in your garage, you know, in these winters. So that's truly the all-encompassing, ultimate rinseless, you know,
solution
sprayer.
Yeah.
I mean, because we were using the PPF sprayer, which we liked, right? And it was perfect for what we needed. But now that this is out, and it's also half the price, more than half the price.
Yeah,
PPF sprayer.
blows it away.
All right, followed by
Piggy Trucker Jones, is there anything you can do for clear coat failing? It's on a 97 Toyota 4Runner. So, no. No, we can't. But, Piggy, if you want to get jiggy with it, get yourself some razor blades.
It's getting piggy with it.
Get piggy with it. Get yourself some razor blades and delicately cut right where that clear coat is starting to fail. And get it as clean and close to the paint as possible. Shave it. This is old school. This is something that I did years ago. You have to hone the razor blade. We've got videos on how to hone a razor blade.
Glass.
On glass with some car wax or a lubricant and some sandpaper to curl the edges of the blades. There's a lot of stuff you can do, but you can actually slice clear and get it to an area where it's no longer able to get broken, to lift. That's the key. We're getting it to a point that it's as smooth and as perfect as we can. From that point, you can do two things. You can hand polish those areas of the paint to brighten them up a little bit. You can polish them, but sometimes when you get into base, color code base, you will wear that out and it will disappear. So you will take away that color. So I recommend just hand polishing that area, then cleaning it with alcohol, and then get a ceramic coating and put a coating over those areas. That will only buy you about a year.
No, we get you about a year. Yeah.
But over time, temperatures, all that stuff, it is going to fracture. So you can do this on a car that's going to be garaged, and it's going to stay out of the elements as much as possible. But once it starts living out in the elements, like my Elantra, you can't really stop it.
It just starts going.
It just starts failing and failing and failing and failing. It hits that point where there's a point of no return. So
obviously, not everybody wants to have to go and repaint or re-clear something. So that's why you would ask a question like this. But at a certain point, that if you want it to look good again, that's about the only solution.
Or here's the other thing: you PPF that whole section.
Oh, it depends on how much.
You can cut that area. You can shine it up.
Piggy's could have a 4 under that has completely failed clear coat.
Completely.
I mean, it could be, or it could be a small piece. We don't really know. But
I mean,
just
if it's on a smaller panel that you can remove, like a hood or something like that, that's an ideal kind of situation.
So I'm at the point on the Elantra that the roof is almost ready to be gone.
Yeah, well,
it's almost
your trunk is gone.
Trunk is gone. Roof is gone. It's almost to that point.
Bumper is almost gone.
The top,
the top of the trunk and the top of the roof have not gone. They haven't broken yet.
Okay.
The top of the back bumper has broken. So clear is actually falling off. My roof is still okay.
Okay.
My roof, I could technically throw some PPF on there to help prevent it from breaking.
Sure, because
I'm not going to prevent the fact that it's already got UV loss and it's faded out some of the paint. But I could put that on there, or I could do like black PPF to change it up and make it look cool, or I could put a vinyl wrap over it. Just knowing that when I go to peel that vinyl wrap, I may be ripping off
taking more clear
coat with it. So there are things you can do, but if it's staying the same color and it's just a fractured bubble and you can cut around it, there are a lot of us that back in the day, with the first early clear coats, we would do that on roofs and things like that, just to help brighten up, especially on like Ford pickups or Chevy pickups of the early 90s, late 80s. We could do that and get them to where they looked pretty good, as long as there was still color. It's when the color disappears and it starts turning white underneath or gray, not much you can do. You just have to repaint it. So Super Auto picked up a couple of those huge purple chemical guy chenilles at Ollie's a year or so back. They seem to be like they're about the size of Anthony hood on Anthony's Honda. I think Dewar has one. Yeah, those are.
So they're too big.
Yeah, they're big.
Big.
They're really big chenilles. They're nice, but they're just huge. Too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
Sizable.
Robert Spurlbeck with a good afternoon and a question. Looking to possibly purchase a CR spotless unit for my garage, but I have really bad water. I tested my water and it's 600 parts per million.
Okay.
My thoughts were possibly to buy a mobile waste tank or water tank. So your CR Spotless will handle it. It'll get it
CR
down there.
Spotless will get it down. It'll get it down to 0. You just
You
at
may
that
run
high
through
that high
you may have to run
PPM,
through 'em.
you're just gonna be going through them probably more often than other people. I mean, we're getting here in the TRC studio, we're getting a solid 6 months of use before we're reaching
100.
about 100 ppm, and
Even at 100, we're happy because we're at about 400 to 500 anywhere in the valley.
So we're definitely getting our money's worth, and we'll just order new filters and swap those out. At my house, I'm getting about a year out of mine, and that's with quite a bit of washing. Speaking of which, I actually need to empty my water, because when you're done at the end of the year, you want to empty the tanks and let the resin dry out, so it preserves it, so it saves it. Otherwise, it will keep wearing it and wearing it. So I need to actually do that tonight. But yeah. It would do it. Just know you're going to be going through filters, but man, it's worth it, dude. There's something about spotless water with washing that just takes a lot of the stress out. Don't have to worry about spots. Makes things easier. Just it's worth it.
Yeah.
Crisscross says I'll make the jump, and then
They're making a crisscross reference.
Gotcha.
Make it jump. Okay.
And then Alex G says, continuing the windshield theme, what's everyone's favorite windshield wipers?
Ooh. I like the ones that are kind of the spoiler shape, where
I'm
it gives
a
a little
Bosch
bit of a
guy,
lower
man.
drag.
I love a good Bosch wiper blade.
Michelin
Bosch
ones
guy,
aren't
dude.
bad though.
The Michelin ones are what I'm running currently,
What do you think?
and I'm running the beams.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on all my vehicles, I run beam washer blade,
I'm running
wiper
a
blades.
beam
style.
Bosch
Yeah.
icons, I think is what they are.
Yeah,
There you go.
I like the Michelins. I'm okay with them. If I can get my hands on some Bosch beams at a good price, I will.
It's the visual thing for me
Yeah,
on the
me too.
Bosches. I like
Yeah.
the way that they look. Personally,
I agree.
Do any of our vehicles have like a weird disparity in the size of one windshield wiper versus the other? I feel like some cars I've had before had like a really tiny one and then a massive one,
Yeah,
just because of the way they did their sweep. I think the biggest one I ever had to buy was like a 24,
My Camry was
26
like that. My Camry was like, it was like a 22 and an 18.
Okay.
And the Fusion does this.
Okay, so it comes from the
They
middle.
come in the middle and they go like this. But I haven't
Yeah.
seen the size of those. Suburban is, I think they're both matched pairs.
Probably like
the
20 or
Elantra-
21s or
Yeah,
something.
the Elantra I think is like a 19 and an 18. It's
Okay.
not much of a difference, but
What's the Ram got?
God, I don't know, Dane. It's been a while. I need to
Ram's
actually
a couple
replace-
14s.
Because I figure most of your other cars don't really have anything too big because they're all like mostly Civics and stuff. So
Yeah, though it's always the rear wipers that always
Yeah.
throw me off. If
you're lucky enough to have a rear wiper, then
The rear wiper on both the Evo and the RSX, it's just a weird JDM thing, right?
Yeah.
But like,
my SVX had one.
those are always weird. I never use them, but I go, I'm glad they're there.
It's nice to know they're there.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, moving along here, we've got Michael Kaufman. Okay, yeah, 600 parts per million is really high. Geez, I only have 150. Bought myself an on-the-go dual tank system. It works great. Getting 600 down to 0 is going to use up the resin quickly, I think.
Yep.
Yes. And sure enough, same thing. Bosch Icon wipers. Yep.
And then
Oh,
G.
gee.
Davis, and because this is the second half, I can say this, the fun half.
Man.
I can't say that. Dane to his masseuse at the Silver Creek Spa after she asks what off the menu item he would like with his coupon. Riggs920
Lordy.
says, fell asleep with the TV on, and when I woke up, YouTube was playing a Q&A when Levi was by himself.
That happened.
You
before,
laid down
yes.
so much knowledge without missing a beat. I will probably rewatch it. You're wicked smart.
Wicked
Thanks,
smart.
Riggs.
Nice.
I appreciate
Nice.
it.
Very complimentary.
That's nice. Very compliment. Great. Thank you.
All right. Then Subrato.
Yeah, I was pretty
Making
proud of
fun.
myself. That thing went fast, and I was by myself. I thought I was going to have a hard time with these boys not being here.
You did great.
Yeah.
No, you got a lot of experience, so you can speak from it.
Dane looks at the entire menus and just nods yes.
Yes. Alex, live in Florida. All right. Let's see. We got Robert. We are on page 1, by the way, so we
Okay.
don't need to be flying through these. If we can take a little time on a project or a comment and expand on it, that'd be good. How long can I store water in a mobile tank in my garage before it goes bad? Asked Robert.
I have no idea, Robert. How often are you washing? Are you drinking that water? Are you utilizing that water? If you're washing with that water, you're probably pretty good. If you're drinking that water, there are a number of different things on websites that tell you what to add to a tank of water if you're going to be storing it in your garage.
I'm guessing this is for detailing purposes.
That's what I'm saying. If you wash, I don't think you're going to have a problem. Lakes County. Will Diamond Body 36 work on a cargo trailer? Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then, TR SEMA 4-1. Yes, crisscross. And then April Fools. No, April Fools
it's
is
always
still a
on the
thing.
first.
Well, it's always the first week of
Yep.
April, so we'll make it work whatever
Yep.
day that happens to work out to be.
Superauto says, look, a
Drifter, Mr. Bean and Rat Race. Oh
Yeah,
man, I
it's a good
watched that
movie.
a bunch when I was a teenager. We've got Brett here. Mixed a fresh batch of Breakbuster at 10-1. Much gooder. Will still gladly drop in for a masterclass in all things IK from Anthony and an Express Cafe sent to Miata. Glad we can provide that service for you, Brett.
Dane will definitely make sure
Yes.
it's nice
Yeah,
and greased up
yeah,
for you in there with a chicken fried steak.
That's right.
Hey, got to keep it lubricated so it doesn't squeak.
Did you ever get chicken fried steak to go or no?
Oh, no. Historically, I've done it. Yeah.
It's a long way to
That's
go.
a long way, Dane.
You know what, though? It stays warm because I use a heated
but-
seat
so-
and I
but
turn on
it's-
the dual zone climate control. I turn it hot on the side where the food is, and then I keep it cool
I
around.
know, so it continues cooking in the vehicle.
It just keeps it warm. That's
no,
all it
but
does.
I don't think
And
it
then
does,
I
Dane.
crack it open so that it doesn't stay humid. I don't want it to get
But
soggy.
I guess
just
what I
want
wanted
it
to
to
know
be.
is-
I love that Dane's got his own like.
I have a system.
set this temperature, set
Does
this,
the
crack
chicken
this.
fried steak, does it sit on top of like a bed of potatoes?
It sits on a bed of potatoes, but they're not mashed potatoes. They are country fried potatoes, so they don't do anything to the
But
steak.
then you have the gravy.
There's country gravy
Is
on it.
already on it,
Yes.
pre-installed.
Yes, but here's the thing. The breading on the country fried steak is substantial enough that it doesn't just immediately go through.
So you have like a 15, 20-minute window? Like what are you
I would say
looking
there's probably a good 20-minute window before it starts to really get in there. It's like, you know how they have on engineered wood floors or on laminate flooring?
Yeah,
They
you got
have
a
that
time limit before it
window.
gets saturated.
That's what it is. And then at
Yeah.
a certain point, it starts to get through.
Yeah,
but before
penetrates.
then,
Yeah,
so as long as I can
Yeah.
get there,
We're
if
just talking
it's
about
just in the
crusting
early
of
stages.
of a chicken fried steak,
Yes.
though.
Yeah.
So it's in the early stages, you're good. But you know what? It's still always better to
I love
have that
this
thing
conversation.
at the seat, at the
That's
the bar.
that's what I'm trying to get you to
countertop.
do more. And
Yes.
I'm really happy that you went and ate there that one day.
No,
but-
absolutely.
But maybe this weekend, are you thinking about
I mean,
Possibly.
I can't rule it out.
and get there and
Okay.
get there in time for a cake donut, Dane?
There you go.
Right?
Can never be too sure.
All right, G. Davis says, I hope when you guys celebrate the Q&A's 5th anniversary, you'll include clips of Anthony being honored by the Portuguese Dyslexia Society as the well-intentioned man of the year. That would be nice.
That's great.
You know, one could hope.
Oh man,
And then Harry Housewife with
Yes.
a Stjarnaglass gummy, hands
very,
up.
very good.
And then crisscross with a DLR equals Disneyland
Oh,
Resort.
I knew the
Makes
DL
sense.
stood for
Yeah.
Disneyland. I wasn't sure what the R was for,
Yeah.
so I was unsure. But thank you for clearing that up. All right, Alex saying thank you. Will consider Superado, and G Davis asking the
He
important
may be
questions.
passing through on the last day at MTE.
He wants to know if the whole crew will be available at MTE. He may
I
be
don't. We
passing
we
through.
don't. Whole crew, not sure.
It's usually in more recent years.
Yeah.
It's turned to like
It's
very
been me and
business
John and
minded
Josh
kind of
and
trip.
Juan.
So it's like the business guys.
yeah.
go
This
on
year
that
it may
one.
just be the Joshes and John. So
So around that same time, Anthony and myself and possibly Jimmy will be going down to Florida, but we're going on a separate mission. So I think you can probably figure out some things that might involve. But yeah, it's been a while since we did that, and it's damn time we go back
Yeah.
and do that. So I'm excited. But,
Addie's detailing
looking forward
saying
to
an
it.
800 ppm, and that went out in a month at 800 ppm. That's a lot, man.
Wow,
Holy cow.
that's high.
Yeah.
What's ours at?
Standard?
If our water was not filtered,
No,
where was
it's
it at?
it's like 300,
Yeah.
350.
Okay.
It kind of depends. I've tested it so many different times. I've had different
I
readings.
swear I've heard
but
it higher before, but I guess
I feel
No,
like
this like area of the
this
state,
area,
like our
this
space
area
is
of the
pretty
city.
high.
But I mean, but there's areas where town of tested was 400. You know,
Okay.
and there's other areas that was 220. So
sure.
Yeah.
kind of
Depends on the spigot it's coming out of too.
Yeah. David Boyce
right.
asking Levi, what's your favorite polishing pad cleaner and your favorite wool pad? I've always just used an APC and O&R on the pad washer. And my favorite wool pad, I like the Lake Country low lint wool, and I like the Rupes blue wool. Those
Good
are my
call.
two favorite pads. Mark Corkum, do you have any different care instructions for cherry applicator sponges if they're used for tire dressing? No, just wash them.
Yeah, they just need to be washed. And you can use rags to riches. I'm sure it'll help. So also a thing you can do. And pre-soak if you feel like it's
just
not
don't
doing
mix them,
enough in the wash on its own.
Yeah, just don't mix them with other stuff if you don't want to cross-contaminate.
Yeah, you don't want that on like your final wipe towels or your glass
Yep.
towels. You want to keep those separate.
And then Darren saying Bosch blades without a doubt.
Yep.
And then G. Davis, thoughts on the Marvels tanking harder than any other MCU movie ever?
I just chalk it up to people being sick of Marvel at this
actually
point.
tank? Because I was looking at the reviews and people said the movie itself wasn't that bad.
It just didn't do well
It was just kind of
monetarily wise.
So it's kind of like, I think it's one of those, what is it, a situation where just because people are literally are uninterested and they don't care about the Marvels, so just nobody went and watched it? Or, because I feel like if the movie was, I don't know, if it was bad, you would have heard it was like, this movie sucked, right? Nobody go see this. But I didn't hear that. I just heard that it
didn't do well at the box office.
Didn't do
is what
well.
I've heard.
No,
Which
I
makes
think
me
it's
think-
more like...
By the way, I watched Blue Beetle with my kids.
I heard
Oh, you
people say that
did?
one was actually
Really good.
decent. Yeah.
What? Where did you watch that?
On HBO. It's on
Yeah, it's on
Max.
there now.
What?
Yeah.
They
I will
added it
have
on.
to watch
It's
that
really
tonight.
good and funny.
It's
and I was
DC's
like,
Spider-Man.
I was like, that's a great movie because it's
Really?
in the funny vein of the
It's like there's Spider-Man.
Shazam.
not Shazam but like Suicide Squad.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll have to. Maybe I'll watch that
But
tonight.
in terms of like
Peacemaker,
where his
it's in that
character fits
it's in that vein of
well, about
Of the
Peacemakers.
heroes.
Funny.
Peacemaker's another level of funny.
yeah, but it's just like it's funny.
Yeah.
But
Like
yeah, I think a lot of that is just the internet doing what the internet does, and the people who don't like certain things or don't like what it may represent to what they think is a thing, they just go that much harder and scream that much louder when they think something
Yeah.
is doing bad, and it just turns into like this echo chamber thing. So I think a lot of it is just the internet being mad over something to be mad about.
It's.
But yeah, Blue Beetle was fun with the kids. They
It's
really
tough,
liked it.
man, because
and
I just
because we're
don't-
Mexicans, it was funny.
You're 6% Mexican.
That's what I'm saying.
Your family's not Mexican at all. Like
My
your
family
kids,
is
your,
very
your-
Mexican.
Your children probably have no Hispanic heritage,
None. Well, other than speaking to their great grandmother in Spanish.
which that is very hilarious when you think about your mom.
Yeah.
Just your mom.
Yeah.
Like these are my grandchildren.
Yeah, it is hilarious.
It is hilarious. Or you're just your actual grandma,
Yeah.
and then here's her great grandchildren.
Yeah.
And it's like that doesn't make any sense.
But here's the funny thing: my grandmother is probably only my grandmother, my beautiful little Socorro Delgado,
Yes, that little
who grew
beautiful Mexican lady.
up in Guanajuato, Mexico,
Yes.
and moved to the U.S. to help with her siblings and stopped going to school in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And was married a gentleman who was also Mexican, who they were migrant farm workers for a number of years, is probably only 20% Mexican.
It's hard to imagine
Wow.
when you listen
Literally
to
only
him talk,
20%.
Yeah.
Listen to my grandmother
and
speak
you go,
Spanish.
how does that even make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah.
And like your genes just really wanted to clear out. I mean, the
It's not all that. We're just a bunch of whiteys that moved into Mexico.
Scandinavian or your
Yeah,
Nordic. your
it is.
Nordic
It's all the
genes.
Scandinavian genes.
Yeah.
Well, then Rick's saying they're blaming Eli. Everybody finds somebody to blame for stuff, but I get. Even after a few years, says G, even after a few years, Anthony can't get out of the aroma of lumberjacks enjoying themselves in the back seats of the Ram. My goodness. Holy cow.
True.
Dino, working night shift. We'll watch a replay tomorrow. Did anyone change grease on their Rupes rotary? Which one to use to make it more quiet? It whines a lot at high pitch. We've never changed the grease on any of ours. I don't think I've ever
been
done
running
that.
the same
But
OEM
a
grease.
dialectic
Dielectric
grease,
grease, yeah.
works great. So
I mean, you've done maintenance on your old polisher before, but never to.
I never had to
the
grease
extent
anything. Yeah.
there.
David Boyce,
That's-
Levi, what's your favorite interior microfiber towel when cleaning vinyl plastics and piano black interiors? 300s, edgeless 300s are. I've played with. I'll have a mismatches of creatures. I'll have Dragos. I'll have pearls. I'll have all kinds of stuff that I'll use. But every time I grab an E300 to clean the interior, it's like winning the lottery in my pile of towels. And I go, oh, man, I really do love this towel for interiors. So E300 is my favorite for that. Anthony,
Good tell.
what do you think?
365. It's probably just what I reach for the most. Probably
It's
just
the
'cause they have a
same
bunch.
towel, but a little beefier.
Just a little beefier, yeah. Harry Horsewife says, that reminds me, last week I missed the live Q&A because I had clicked a previous one. I spent a while waiting for the guest to come, and they never did. But last week was great. Love Jack.
Oh, man, Darren, you missed out.
Darren, missed out, man. CJ Burns says, dun, 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 5 gallons of purified Primo Eater has a 2-year shelf life.
Primo Eater.
I don't know what Primo Eater is, but all right.
All right. I don't know what that is. Joey here. Wow, we are up to the top of page 1 almost. Dane, my local cafe offers a chicken fried steak sandwich. Perfect to eat while driving.
Oh,
Maybe
God.
Express Cafe can whip you up something special. Joey, that's the thing, though. I don't want to eat it before I get home because the whole point is I share it with my girlfriend. It's a nice, breakfast experience together. It's a nice thing. That's why.
Have you ever thought
I
of
gotta make sure I
learning how
take
to
it back.
make your very own chicken
I
fried
certainly
steak?
Where-
could try, but my
You have to
effort
do the
would
drive.
not match what Express Cafe is.
What
able
if you
to do.
called Express Cafe and said, I'd like to work with you guys for about a week, job shadowing
Can
the
I just
kitchen.
job shadow in your
I want to
kitchen?
learn how to make these items. I'll pay you.
Dane, when you get Express Cafe and you bring it back home, and it's
Yeah.
you and Liz, do you guys eat at the counter or are you guys eating in front of like the TV? I'm trying to envision where this ceremonial
Well,
Saturday, Sunday
breakfast.
thing is.
Sometimes it's together. Other times we go off and watch our separate things if we're doing something different. But oftentimes you'll end up just sitting on the couch together, and then we have a coffee table that the top rises up and over, and it becomes a table that's right over to you.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's
this
perfect.
rises
I
to
think
meet
about these
you.
things. It's a piece of mid-century furniture that I had
you
purposely
bought
built for
for
this
Express
purpose.
Cafe.
I've thought of
This
these
is
things.
ridiculous.
So
Dane.
I'm doing my own thing.
Like it. G. Davis with a got it, keep it lubricated. Dane explaining his office chicken rotisserie to Justin's TRC sponsored rap class.
G. Davis, just sing "Gotta Keep It Lubricated" to the tune of "Gotta Keep Them Separated" by The Offspring.
Yeah,
That'll be a good time.
Thinking about, yeah.
And Super Auto with a CFS dang, now I'm hangry. Chicken fried steak.
There you go, man.
David Boyce, what's
Acronyms
your
all
favorite
around.
stain remover for greasy spills on upholstery?
Very
I'll
relevant.
be using steam in addition to using a greasy, oily product remover. I've been really
you like
liking the Stoner's foam fabric upholstery cleaner. I think it's
What?
a really great fabric and upholstery cleaner specifically for grease and oil because it's got some solvents in it.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
And you
That makes
you
sense.
spray it on and it foams and it sits. That's really nice. The other one that I really, really do, I think people seem to give it not do enough, is how powerful Terminator is.
Yeah.
Terminator on its own is a you need to just have Terminator. Even if you're not buying the whole trifecta, Terminator from PNS is so unique and perfect for as an enzymatic cleaner that it's breaking that stuff down, and it does a pretty dang good
does
job
work.
on some of those greasy things. So try that. And then G. Davis, last time I saw
man.
Levi, MTE 2020, hard to believe. I know,
3
buddy.
years, man. It'll be 4.
Yeah.
And the last time we saw G was actually on our
20
trip to the East Coast. So
Would have been 2019.
Mhm.
Yeah.
wow.
And then G. Davis saying, Anthony, I need to make 500 million.
No, it needed to make.
Oh, it needed to make 500 million to break even. A
That
month into its release,
movie
it's at
cost
197.
500 million to
Dang.
make.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably
Probably less.
half
What?
of that.
Probably
half
half
of
of
that
that.
was probably the movie, and then the other half would be like marketing budget, and because
Yeah.
they tried marketing the hell out of it, but it's like
They
if people
should.
don't
They
want to go.
shouldn't have made that movie, dude.
G,
Is it Kevin Fen? Is it Kevin Fen?
Kevin Feige?
Kevin
Kevin
Feige.
Feige. He's still rolling out all these different phases, right? He's
Yeah.
still in charge of everything.
Yeah. But he's laid off, he said. He's backed off on the
So
amount of
I
rollouts
just
that
want to
are gonna be
say,
done.
I brought this up to Levi earlier
Yeah.
in the week, but I think one of the reasons that people talk about like Marvel fatigue and that kind of thing, I think it's just between making it so that certain movies have like complete plot holes unless you watch the relevant TV show on Disney Plus, which they're also trying to make you subscribe to and watch. At a certain point, it feels like homework, and it just stops being something that everybody wants to do. There are many people out there who'll still do it, and I know like Levi does it, no problem. But there's a lot of people out there I think just start to fall off like flies when it's just like, okay, you're not going to get the numbers you originally wanted because people are getting kind of tired of it. It's simple
There you
as
go.
that.
I mean-
show me something interesting like
So-
Godzilla -1 that I will say all the great things about. Holy cow, that
there's
probably did better
nothing-
than that did.
There's nothing from Marvel coming out.
And that's a
here.
$15 million
What is the
movie.
next movie coming out from Marvel?
No idea.
Like what's the next like actual like this is going to be a good movie?
I have no idea.
No idea because we had
there's no more
we had
Guardians.
Black Panther this year.
Mm-hmm.
Which did good, right?
Yeah.
I think it probably did pretty well.
It felt a little forgettable though compared to the first
It was
one.
I
very
didn't.
forgettable.
I thought it was nice. I liked it.
But I thought it was a good movie.
And like
Yeah.
Ant-Man, everybody was kind of
I didn't.
yeah.
Nobody liked
Oh,
it.
that
man.
was a
Yeah, so
trip.
you probably blocked that one
I didn't
from your
watch
mind.
that one though, but I watched Loki season 2.
Sure.
Loved it.
I heard
Thought
a
it
lot
was
of people say
great.
they enjoyed that.
They did a really good job, and it was
I
one of
just-
those where everybody said, "Why did the other Marvel series have to be so bad? Why couldn't it all just be like
Yeah.
Loki?"
Well, and the
they did
problem
a good
was-
job. They spent the time, they spent the money, they spent the amount of like story that they needed to
Yeah.
build.
But Star Wars is the same way, where people felt like the Book of Boba Fett was such a bummer for a lot of people that they didn't end up watching Andor because they're like, oh, another Star Wars show. And it's like, Andor was so much
Very good.
better than the other
Andor's
shows. It's not
beautiful.
even funny.
Insanely
Yeah.
good-
And people
insanely
didn't
good
give it a
show.
chance. They didn't even start because they thought, ugh, it's just another
I didn't
property.
even know how
and
to-
I
how
think
much
that's
to
what's
appreciate
happening,
that.
regardless of how good or bad you think these other things are. People are just tired of it. It's just too much of the same. Not feeling like, old school movies like cinema. Come on.
Kevin says, have you ever used rag stretches on clothes? Yes, I have. I wanted to try soaking one of my shirts and try to get rid of some of the caked deodorant on my black shirts. Yeah, dude, you can actually use
actually
rag
really
stretches
good.
on clothing. It's totally safe. It's not going to hurt you
Yeah.
at all. You can actually mix it into a sprayer if you want to, and throw a dilution of a couple ounces into a little 32-ounce spray with water, shake it up, and you actually pre-treat some areas on
Yeah.
the clothing as well before throwing them into the wash, and it's a great pre-treater.
Yeah.
It'll
I
work
had
really well.
I had a grease stain on one of my hoodies.
Mm-hmm.
Sprayed put a little rags to riches on it, threw it in the wash, took it out. I couldn't get it out with the regular detergent.
Dude,
I had washed it multiple
telling you.
times and it still had this stain. And I was like, God dang.
Rags
Spray a little rags to riches. The other
is
thing,
the truth.
Yeah.
workout clothes. People are using their gym clothes or things like that. Maybe they're rocking the performance fabrics. Like
Sure.
They
Dane,
can't get
Dane,
that scent
Dane
out.
loves
I
the
live in
performance
these
fabrics.
things, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a
They
big
actually
boy.
do.
It's nice to have a
They
breathable...
actually do really well in cleaning because most performance fabrics are a blend of
Polyester.
polyester, and
mostly polyester.
and
but yeah.
rags to riches works really well with that mixture. So
Yeah.
you can definitely try that. It also gets rid of scent, like
That's
so
very
stinky
helpful,
scents. People
yeah.
will wash their performance fabrics and they're like, God, I still kind of got a weird scent to them because of the sweat and everything that they bring and pull, and the minerals that get trapped in there. This really does a great job of removing
Yeah,
those.
like on regular cotton stuff, though, and things like that, I don't think it's going to do anything particularly, different, stand out. It's really meant for more of those polyester type things.
Yeah. Joey Belinsky says a candlelight breakfast with Dane. Right?
Nice.
That'd be nice. G. Davis says
The power
Dane isn't allowed in the Express Cafe kitchen after the unfortunate incident at their Gravy Diversity training event.
Gravy diversity.
And then Gene Disney is on a historically bad run of films, losing money. Yep. And then Joey says
They're just
Deadpool
remaking all their
3
old
in
stuff, too.
July.
I mean,
yeah, that's coming
at least
out.
that's something to look forward to, although
Everything
that kind of
else
feels
is
like an
TV.
outlier, honestly.
And he
All
says
right.
everything else is TV. And then G. Davis says Andor is delayed until 2025.
Andor. Is there going to be another season?
Yeah, there's a season
they
2.
meant it from the very
Andor.
beginning. They were going to have 2 seasons, so that's
Yeah.
all
He
they
just
were gonna
dies at the end, though.
He
so why
didn't.
would
No, this is before
he dies?
he dies. This is what
Yes.
makes him a rebel.
Yeah, I know,
to
I
be
know.
because we still need to find out how does he meet K2SO.
There's still space for a story.
Right?
Okay,
there.
so if there's
Yes.
space, then I'm down.
And
Yeah.
most
I'm down.
importantly, as far as I understand it, it's the same people involved making the second season who were in the first
Yep.
season. That's all I need to know that I can trust.
Yep.
It should be
Same
good.
people that made Ahsoka.
I-
That's what's
So
so
I
great
will
about it.
say though,
Yeah.
a show
Same
that
guy wrote it.
I am looking forward to, that I saw a trailer for. I sent it to Dane. I said, "Dude, this looks promising." So they're making a Fallout show.
I
Yeah,
am
based
so
on-
excited.
based
I
on the
love
Fallout
the
video
Fallout
games,
game. New Vegas in
and
particular.
They're
Fight me
making
if
a
you disagree.
show, and it looks promising. I'm just hoping they don't Halo us because that was the worst.
Oh, Halo
that
was
the
pain, dude. That was
bad. I don't even know why they.
But this, fortunately,
committed
with
with
the
that.
with the writing team behind this, if it's anything like The Boys and stuff like that, it at least has a fighting chance. So I'm
Oh, absolutely.
gonna give it a
Yeah.
chance.
Well, it's gonna be coming out from Amazon.
And I saw
right?
like Chris Parnell's in it. I saw Walton Goggins is in it.
Yeah, I
Like,
see that.
people
Saw
that
that.
look to be pretty
Yeah.
good actors and interesting and fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think. Gosh, I don't
Yeah.
know. Do we?
David
do we
Boyce, any
wanna-
thoughts on David Tennant? No, not big Doctor Who. G. Davis, based on your review, Dane, I'm seeing Godzilla -1 tomorrow.
Please
Thumbs
do.
up.
Okay,
I think
good.
it's
Good
not
to see.
related to any of the other like legendary MonsterVerse stuff. It's its own thing made by the original studio that made the original movie, and it's so worth it. It's
Yeah.
a great human story. And I realize this is a detailing podcast, but anybody who will listen,
Yep.
give it a chance. It's a great movie. I genuinely mean that.
And then Aaron Bauer saying, I found the hair turbans on the website. Hope gifting this to my wife atones for spending on microfibers. I will say every
Hair turban
purchaser that uses them goes, this is the greatest thing. Like I've gotten
It's
my wife a
slept on,
couple,
but it is
and my wife's
amazing.
always like, man, I really like a couple of those things again, and I always forget. And I gave one to my daughter because she started wrapping her hair, and she loves it. She thinks it's the coolest thing. It's one of those very slept on products that we have that a lot of people that have long hair that use a hair turban to dry their hair says, holy crap, I've never had anything dry.
Some people think we only carry detailing
my hair
products,
this well.
and it's
So-
like when we were starting out, there's so much
Get
more.
'em-
than
get 'em
just
while
that.
they're hot.
Detailing got the attention, but there's plenty
Yeah.
of other wonderful things hidden away in our menus. If you take a look,
Yep.
there's more that meets the eye.
And then G. Davis says he returns as Jar Jar Binks.
And or just Cassian shows up and Jar Jar now. What the?
And then Mark
boy.
says, is it possible to overuse the Jersey bug scrubber mesh side? I've never had one
I've never seen it tear. really.
that's had that problem. Usually they get loaded with bugs and then you try to wash them and they don't clean up as well, and that's when you overuse
You would have
it.
to really
but it
try.
doesn't destroy it.
Yeah, it's a pretty durable material, so
It holds
it's
up
just
to
usually when it
washes.
clogs or it's not effective, you usually wash it out or.
That's why we sell them in a pack of 5 or
Yeah,
6 or whatever.
But
so.
they're so useful.
Yeah. Hair turban is Dane's Twitch DJ name.
Oh dear.
Oh God, that's
It's DJ Hair Turban.
not good.
All right.
All
All right,
right.
guys.
So
I think
that
this
pretty
is a
much rounds
good
us out.
spot. Dane,
Yeah.
take us home. Thank you
Okay.
guys for tuning in.
Yes, thank you everybody who watched, who listened sometime in the future. We appreciate all of you and your questions, detailing related and otherwise. But if you haven't done it already, please hit that like button. Helps us out, helps you out by making sure we stick around and are able to keep answering these questions every single week that we can. We try not to miss, but occasionally, people get sick, things like that happen. Anyway, I just want to say thank you. And also, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And last but not least, if you haven't already, go check out that disaster detail we did with that Tacoma. That's what you should be watching over on the main channel. These guys worked very hard on it, and you're only seeing about 10 minutes of what was over 40 hours of recorded footage. So there's a lot going on there. Anyway, have a great weekend. We'll catch up with you on the main podcast next week. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
See ya.